going to be 2 nights of full moon, or one was like really close and the other one was full. I don't remember. At least this night we went out to a spot, quote unquote, away from the city to make sure that if he transforms, that we could handle it. And then we got ambushed by some war-crazed druid and her pack.
Yeah, ice skulls, right?
So we went out to the woods, so that way they could be prepared
That's
to
not what I
fight
wanted to
the turns, and then we promptly got into combat.
Yeah, I tried to talk to them, but they were too mean to me.
Yeah, you attempted to speak Druidic, but these people seem to be ready for an attack.
Yeah, just not from us, but from elves, I believe. They wanted to eradicate elves.
Yeah, they wanted to kill all the elves.
They're elfists.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't say that my friend that was infected with a werewolf curse was an elf, so I just pointed
told
at
them.
Agneta.
Yeah, true.
Your old friend is an elf.
He tries to persuade them that Agneta was gonna turn into a werewolf.
I mean, she sort of looks raggedy and stuff.
Yeah, she looks like she might turn into a werewolf.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If Agneta gets
almost
werewolf
dead.
bitten, that would be so cool.
A wolf donkey?
Yeah.
The problem was that she then went, so she has been gotten blessed.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Rise of the wolf eel?
Oh god.
Yeah, but we're basically. I think I'm completely out of spell slots, and I'm not sure about everybody else, but
I have 3 first level spell slots and that's it.
yeah, I think we're in sort of a bit of a pickle here.
I have.
How long is it until he transforms? Can I do like an Arcana or Nature check on that?
I have 2
Alright.
heals left.
I'll let you nature check. Basically looking up into the sky.
I'm gonna say, it
19.
shouldn't be too difficult.
Looking up into the sky, you can see that the clouds have started to, the sun has started to set. But the clouds are also quite thick tonight.
Could I short? Do we have time to short rest?
You can always take a half rest.
What does that do again?
You roll 1 hit die. And you heal
Yeah,
damage.
but we don't get. I don't get my.
You can short rest.
I don't get spell slots from short rest,
What-
but I
what
do.
are you
I think I
guys-
get wild shape.
Yeah. So, you guys just want short rest? What are you doing during the short rest?
I guess
I
we're
mean,
just
people
setting up
that
some
can
sort
roll
of
hit
camp.
dice. People that can roll hit dice should roll hit dice.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I was supposed to be getting maxed healing that entire time, and I forgot. It's a little late now, though.
Yeah. A little bit late.
Yeah, but I can. If we short rest, I can at least use some stuff.
If
I can use my
we short
my
rest, I'm
thing.
back to full power, so I'm totally okay with this.
Yeah, you're. I'll. Should we just short rest? Is everybody okay with that?
I mean, we can.
Do we have any like chains? I know we have rope, but I don't think that will do. Okay, everybody short rest, I guess.
You can always hit that little short rest button. That always does things for you.
Okay.
Where do you guys click for the hit dice? Oh, right there. Never mind, I was stupid.
Oof.
5.
A nice natural 1 on a heal. And then a natural 8.
Okay. I'll take that. That's plus 17, so I should just roll.
then minus the 4.
Yeah, I figured it would do that automatically, but never mind. What's Agneta's hit dice?
You could double click onto it and see it.
Wait, she has hit dice?
Yeah. All
Oh,
creatures have
okay.
hit. Oh, well, I had to set it to a thing because she gets average. But it should be a D8.
Cure wounds is 2d8 plus 4, so yeah, I'll do one of those and max myself out.
The problem with Agneta is because I have one of these APIs installed, is if I gave her like a formula, like 4d8 plus 8,
Yeah.
then every time I pull her out, she would roll that as her new health. So her health would always
Oh.
fluctuate.
Where do I see your hit dice?
It's an 8 for
Oh, okay. And their constitution has a +1. She'll heal 9, and then I'll do 2 for her too. Whoo!
Merta, full health.
I'm gonna roll one of my hit die as well.
Yeah, I'm
Oof.
gonna get some camp or something going, I guess. Where the fuck do we put these bodies, though?
I am max health again. Nice.
I'm just gonna
Oh.
sit down here and ignore them.
All but one, I think, are dead. I don't think you killed her, did you?
No, we wanted to talk to her.
What are we doing with the bodies? Or are you guys just kind of leaving them and going elsewhere?
I feel like we could just pile them up and...
Toss them in a pile somewhere away from the water and give them an extra
Yeah.
stab, even though we already did.
Pretty
I-
sure
I-
most of them are
And loot.
nice and cooked.
Time to loot.
So you guys will go ahead real quick, throw off their biases side, and I will just get rid of them. Your investigation over the bodies, they have mostly just their weapons on them. It looks like they came in very like nothing in their sacks, nothing in their backpacks, nothing really on them that you could say was valuable. There are some like bone charms hanging from their clothes. They have some
other things at the same time.
whittled objects, but nothing that really screams out any intrinsic value, maybe just to themselves or their culture. Even the druid herself doesn't seem to have anything more than a spell focus, some components on her for her magics, and just more of the same blood mixture that when you do kind of look into it, it seems like it's been mixed with almost this gel-like paint and some sulfur, because you can't even smell it on it, but other than that, it doesn't seem to have any active properties.
Hey. Well, are their weapons worth anything?
They all have like hand axes, so you could get about like 12 hand axes and about 6 great axes.
Alright.
Money.
Yeah.
Money,
Okay.
money.
Spared great axes
Well
first.
made, but they're not superb. They are
I think-
regular steel weapons.
Alright, scrap metal for the blacksmith.
I feel like we could... I'm thinking we could tie up, like, surface to this big log here. Like, lying on the log and then tying it up to that. I feel like that's probably our best bet here.
By this really nice tree, which I plan on staying by unless we move.
Is that like a full... I figured that was... all of these were just stumps.
No, I got
No, you can see the trees above, they're just cut out.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That makes... Yeah,
You have that
That's-
shadow?
that's a-
Like,
yeah. That's a lot easier to tie people up to.
So Gift is going to be in the tree above Xerthus, and then after the short rest, I used Cure Wounds on myself, which I get max shit on when Gift is close enough, so that's 20 health and I'm maxed out.
Okay.
Because fuck yeah. I need to remember my abilities, would be great, you know?
It would help.
Give me 1 second, just gotta sneeze, so I'll be listening.
Certus, are you okay with me tying you up?
with what?
Yeah, I only have rope with... Yeah, just the rope.
4,000 yards.
They don't... Does anybody have chains? I don't think so, right? That would be way too heavy to carry. Yeah, are you okay
I
with
don't.
that?
I mean, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for presence.
Yep.
What the fuck? What the fuck would ropes? Is that like sleight of hand?
If you're adept with tying ropes, it's kind of easy, especially if you're like a sailor of some sort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Sildor, come over here.
Why?
You know how to make knots, right?
Doesn't everyone?
No.
Oh, get good, man. Why am I making that?
You. We're tying up surface to the tree.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna see what it does.
You wanna help or not? It might be completely unnecessary, but I would like to say.
The sun slowly starts to set as the forest around you starts to grow even darker and darker. Eventually, your fairy fire wears off. After your short rest, your fairy fire is gone. You guys can remove all your little token markers. And the person will get restored to 1 health. As I'm not sure, did you bind her up?
We bound her before we bound me. Terrible idea not to.
Okay.
That's your guys' problem. By standing around.
Yeah, we can deal with it while you maybe transform.
Gift is holding a pebble that currently has the light spell on it.
So I'm not gonna change like light level in the map. Oh, I could.
Oh yeah, but everyone can now picture, like, because Gift is physically in the tree, so now everyone can picture the tree glowing for no goddamn reason.
But it is progressively getting darker and darker in the world.
Bjorn, you might want to back up. Just it's like a personal tidbit.
I'm just looking at what I can do. God, we're kind of screwed, aren't we?
No, I'm back at full. That's fine. We got this.
Um,
Also, Zerthus paid a lot of money to not be a werewolf, so if he changes,
Yeah, I hope it works, but I mean, it might
I
not.
want my money back.
I
Why
I'm going.
her over and over again.
because she's still there.
Yeah.
Husbjörn and Agneta are gonna set up like a tent or something
Why
down
is
here.
Bjorn glowing?
I don't know. I am glowing now, I guess.
I
Is
don't
he
know.
still glowing
Is it-
from when I lit up his mushroom on his head?
Oh,
I think
yeah,
so.
probably.
Yeah, it definitely wore off.
I mean, I can also just stay within a certain range. I can see him clearly no matter what. And if I think that he might transform, I will just cast Eyes of Night on people that need it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
But the sun does slowly set, as you know. You can hear the druid is kind of, or the dryad kind of cough and wake up, bound in her own ropes, as you also have bound Zerthus.
Oh, sorry, I missed the part where we tied her up. I was away for a little bit.
We tied her up before we tied me up.
Okay. Yeah, I was away for a little bit because I have to help Alexia. Whatever. Okay.
Anybody gonna ask your questions? Cause I'm not right there.
Why aren't you?
I distanced myself from Surface. I figured he might
So you
not
can't
be able
help?
to. No, I figured he might not be able to jump over this
Oh, dear.
pond. So if I'm on the other side of the pond, I might get one more turn to ranged attack him.
Anyone think this is a little unnecessary? I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think wolves like to be able to run around freely and dance underneath the moonlight.
You've got it wrong. This is a werewolf. It's something completely different.
I'm laughing so hard.
I mean, I
So
mean,
I'm correcting you. You're wrong.
I kind of understand taking on, the powers of mythical beasts, and that's what my tribe kind of does. But I mean, if this is just a wolf, then I mean, it seems
It's
kind of
not.
simple in comparison.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a werewolf. It's something completely different.
Why is he wearing a wolf?
Well, it's a werewolf. The wolf
He-
doesn't know where it is,
Revos-
so it's a werewolf.
Ah,
Please stop.
Thank you, Silver. All right. So, do you want to ask her something, Silver, or?
Not particularly. I just figure that's usually what we do, right? Ask people shit.
So I go up to her and I go, okay, so we don't appreciate getting attacked like that without any reason. Why did you attack?
In a more broken Elven, she does respond. Do you understand it?
I do, as long as it's like understandable for normal Elvish.
Can you repeat the question? Why did you attack?
Yeah.
Aiden wishes conquest and blood sacrifices.
Sorry, who
Serving
does?
Aiden.
Who's this again?
Aiden is the god of blood and conquest.
Isn't that the vampire from?
How do you spell it? Is it Aiden?
Do I
Aiden-
hear this?
With an I instead of a Y. Aiden is literally in Elfish, just translate to battlefield.
So Ayden, like I wrote in the chat. Or- okay.
Carnage is her communion. Bloodshed, her blessing.
Wait, where are my notes? Ah, there.
No, not Aiden.
Man.
Silly.
Is it a god or a goddess?
It is a goddess, as far as she said.
How loud are they speaking? Can I hear them from the other side of the pond?
Since she's been
Oh wait, I
beaten
don't
down
understand
twice-
Elvish. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't understand Elvish, so never mind. Freaking stupid ass dwarf. I know two.
Next. Next now.
Why were you on your way to eradicate elves specifically?
Ora is at war with Ithana.
Let me get the map again. Wait, what is at war with Ithana?
Ora.
Cora?
Just
But we are-
to the
Might wanna just do a history check, honestly.
east.
There's... Oh, is it literally the star to the east of that?
Yeah,
Then there's no name next to it. Okay.
there is. The red name.
It's on the new or the old map, maybe?
It's on both.
Okay.
I'm 110% certain that it was on both, since I had to edit both.
Okrarias, Editel...
Oh, to the west. I'm
Oteron.
sorry.
West, okay.
Oh!
Squara. Oh, that's quite a way away. How come you're so far away from Squara then?
War calls us. It is strange to see humans living so comfortably in elven territory.
Actually, it's pretty normal.
I was gonna say that's pretty normal. Why do you think it's
Me?
strange?
I've been up and down the
Oh, I don't
entire
understand
continent
this.
multiple times over. I've never even heard of this issue.
I am from a completely different continent, and I haven't heard this issue either.
I've heard of
The,
this.
the Sinest Iceskeld and even the wildlings of our lands do not agree well with the elves here.
That by definition sounds like a you problem, given that it doesn't exist anywhere
Sounds like,
else.
yeah, it sounds like it's quite intolerant of you, as this issue
They
does not
started
exist anywhere
it
else. How do you mean? And do you have any proof?
15 cycles ago. Ithanians marched into our lands, burned our villages, and slaughtered our people.
And what happened before that?
We, the Jarls, existed in a constant warfare. Much is not truly known. Most Jarls keep the histories to themselves.
So you're keeping a feud over something that happened so long ago.
If I were to butcher your people, would you not hold a grudge against me? In the Aiden, bloodshed is bloodshed, for no matter the cause.
Well, I understand that you might honor your goddess like that. My goddess sees it completely different.
That, as you say, is a you problem.
I like her. I don't understand what she's saying, but I like her.
Yeah, I wish I was there, but she's not speaking Druidic, so I can't even translate for you guys.
You would be the only one that would understand her in that case.
Yeah.
More understand than the other way around.
Wait, she was fluent in Druidic, right? She wasn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I understand that this might be something between the two of you. Have you ever considered just making peace?
You deal with the stubborn elves, the Jarls may speak. Until then, the Aiden is all we see.
Aiden meant Battlefield 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This view of yours is quite intolerant.
I am not here to judge you. I am here
No.
to bring faith to Aiden.
Can I bring faith to you? Faith of Noctra in this case.
Are you going Jehovah's Witness on her right now?
Yes, I'm totally going Jehovah's Witness on her.
Somebody
It's
tell me what
not
she's
true.
saying. I don't know this Elvish babble.
Oh, she's saying that her people were attacked, but has absolutely no idea why. Which is probably because she's something they did and they just don't want to admit it, and she's all pissed off.
Not very
Noctra
descriptive.
sounds weak to Aiden.
Have we not beaten your entire party?
You assume Aiden is simply conquered in one battle?
No, but you say weakness, while I see strength.
I still live. There is only weakness I see in you.
Weakness is the way you might want to perceive it. I see it as strength, as a choice not to kill those that oppose you. but rather lend your hand to those that can help.
Sildar, what are they saying?
She's saying that it's weakness that we didn't chop her head off, and he's saying it's strength that we chose not to chop her head off.
I mean, they're both right.
They're having a philosophical battle over philosophy shit. I don't know, God shit.
Oh, I knew a guy named Phil once. Yeah, he was really indecisive.
Then
No.
what now? Natra worshipper. Am I to die here? Then I shall die. If that is not the case, release these bindings.
We shall do neither at this point. We came here for a completely different reason. That reason will be followed.
You were so weak that you were collateral damage from something else we were doing.
Once we have fulfilled our own duties, we will take you to Athana so that you can be prosecuted according to law.
I will not turn into a slave.
That is not up to us. That is not up to you.
She kind of looks up as you guys can start to see at least the sun no longer shimmering off the clouds as the twilight starts to hit. If you are here for the blessing, it may begin soon.
Yes. You guys are about to die.
I mean, you didn't turn last night, and that was a moon cycle.
No, last night wasn't a full moon. Tonight's the
Yeah.
first moon, and then tomorrow's the next one. And she's referring to lycanthropy as a
No, I
blessing.
know.
He's also going to transform. So we definitely will need to make sure that... Do we have something of silver to tie her down?
Just making sure we're all on the same wavelength here of she's probably going to transform.
Presence, I know that this might not be okay, but can we retcon the fact that I might have bought some silver thread? Because it would help with the werewolf thing and everything.
Surface can't touch silver though.
No, I know, which
Only
is why...
It's that though.
Or you could just toss
Exactly.
a silver coin at her.
Yeah, honestly, just do that.
I mean, is it my new glaive silvered?
My new
Yes,
house
but-
is silvered.
You can
Yeah,
just hold it
just
to
kill her if
back
you
or
want to.
something.
If she starts
Okay.
transforming while prone and tied up on the ground, I'll just shove my friggin' silvered weapon in her.
She will definitely transform. Presence,
Why-
quick question. If something would be tied around, for instance, her arms, would they be chopped off if she would transform? Or would it just burn? Because I think they're just weak to it. It doesn't, completely burn through them, right?
What? You're talking like werewolves? Lycanthropy?
Yeah.
You, as a character, would not know. Either way.
Okay.
And also, if she was, what Xerthus is, you wouldn't know unless Xerthus answered.
But I'm sitting over here minding my own business, hearing half the conversation, waiting to see what happens.
Sitting there innocently whistling.
Yep.
So, I'm not going to retcon that you got the silver thread. That's something that you might want to make a note to get next time.
Gotcha.
Because
For
it might,
tomorrow,
it
maybe.
actually does seem pretty useful, but
Mm.
not in this situation. But you guys are kind of, waiting around as the night progresses. Wet, drizzling rain starts to drop. And overall, you can kind of just see some of the clouds blocking out much of the moon. And the night stays dark for at least another hour or two.
Subsequently, couldn't we just like stick him in a cave and then the moon would never see him and he wouldn't change?
We don't know what causes it.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works, sadly.
I, as a character, do not know what causes me to transform.
Well, just as a precaution, I'm gonna put a sack over the chick's head so she can't see the moon.
Okay. For several hours, the moon stays hidden behind the clouds before the rain eventually subsides. And Zarthus, that's when you start to look up, compelled by some innate force within him. A lust, desire, or pure absolute rage, as the clouds finally give way, finally showing itself in its pure and raw form. Zarthus, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Yes!
Nice.
Let's do this.
It's already planned because the DC was 20.
Holy shit.
Do you want to do it? Do it. Just do it.
No. This is on you, man.
You could have just chosen to fail it.
No, it's a save. It is his body trying to fight off a different beast within him that's trying to take control.
We still have to do this one more time.
With a will impregnable to the advancement of the beast, you bite down hard, blood drawn from your lip, as you focus inward on that black magic exploding from your body. Fists clenching, claws digging into your palm, fangs grinding against your cheeks, and fur protruding from your skin. Overcoming the blurring curse as you draw on your own power, binding it, and eventually forcing it back down before you feel yourself kind of caving into exhaustion. But as you kind of hang there, you find yourself still an elf.
Oh my god, thank god.
So that was the first
We
day.
need to find a way to give him an advantage next time.
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's
Once
go
I have
kick
my
the shit
third
out of
level
that.
second level spells.
Let's go kick the shit out of that wizard. He scammed us.
What? No, it went he didn't transform. That's all we know. So far he
I
did a
think-
good job.
Wait. Doesn't Surface know?
You're not even close enough to me to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not is he.
I will say that people did see, you suddenly start to clench and convulse as they do notice, the hair did seem to darken a little bit. I mean, Gift is giving you light, and they did definitely see what looks to be fangs and claws before they simply regressed back into your body. And it seems like you pushed down the curse, or at least controlled it in some way.
Are you gonna turn into a blood hunter?
Blood Hunter Wizard.
Multi-classy blood hunter. Blood hunter wizard. I have the dex and the intelligence for it.
Then go for it. It's pretty cool, even at first level. Oh my god, that's pretty sick.
We'll get into that conversation later.
Yeah.
Jesus. But you did save. And, you feel okay. The moon's out.
What happened to
Seems
her?
fine.
How am I bound? Just like
I would assume your arms and chest, and they tied 112 knots.
oh. I can't like draw a
can't
dagger
even
and
pick
just
your
cut
nose, man.
myself out.
No. No.
I light my
She didn't react at all.
Okay.
She's
Thank
simply been
God.
waiting there.
Then we take the sack off her head.
No, leave it. We need to fucking see.
Leave it. Okay. Yeah, that's true. So is it morning now or what?
It's middle of the night. You guys want a long rest and head back? Or
Yep,
do
I
you want
would.
to just head back now?
I already
Let's
set
just
back
go
a
back
tent,
now.
set
I'll
up a
start,
tent, so I'm.
untying Xerxes.
No, I set up a tent.
We have to do this
Okay,
again.
let's head back then.
You do realize we
Yeah,
have to do
but-
it again tomorrow.
We could
Right.
stay
Yeah.
out here all
Yeah,
day
yeah.
and have this prisoner for another day, or we can freaking get rid of her.
So
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's true.
We didn't go that far out of the city.
what did you guys learn from her while I was sitting over here twiddling my
She's
thumbs
racist.
whistling?
Nothing.
She
Yeah.
claims that Arthana
That it?
attacked her peaceful village for no reason, even though there are a bunch of blood god maniac worshippers. So I'm guessing there is a reason.
Did they know?
What if they
Also, like 15 cycles ago,
Long
which
ass
is
time
quite
ago,
a
so
while.
there's probably a logical reason if they did attack, why they would have attacked.
Alright. Well, we can go back now.
I mean, this isn't gonna say that elves aren't racist, and they might have just attacked because they thought that the
I
others
mean, barbarian
Uh-huh.
civilization worshipping blood god. I'm sure they did something to piss someone off at some point.
were. Yeah.
Some of those are racist, though. So, I mean,
So we give off the lady at the sheriff dude thingy.
it's like the middle of the night.
Someone's
Well,
letting
I mean-
off- sheriff gets busy in the middle of the night. Is some drunk asshole getting in a bar fight? You know,
I was gonna say, it's not like crime halts in the middle of the night so they can
crime
just
primarily
say,
happens
"Oh,
in the
fuck it."
middle of the night.
She doesn't seem to resist as you drag her through the city, basically leading her as she walks. You eventually come across one of the town watch as they're as one of them's kind of stationed in there for the moonlight shift, and he goes, "Oh, what is this?" He speaks in regular Elven.
She's from where now again?
I respond,
I was asking Lysander. She's from where now again?
"What?" Hold on, let me open the thingy.
She's an
She's from
ice dog, right?
Squara.
Oh, Squarian. Ah,
The hunting party was here
Barbarian.
for elf people, and
They had a party, a raiding party to eradicate elves.
barbarians. Gotcha. Turning her in.
Turning her in.
Okay. And, you see, he kind of just gets up, places manacles onto her wrists, or one chain around her neck before, you helping, or at least asking for your help as he guides her into a cell. We'll get her dealt with in the morning. She could stay in there till now.
this one's a magic.
He had some. I was gonna say the same thing. She has some weird magic, so maybe have extra precautions for that.
Or something.
Oh. He basically tastes what looks like the horse's bit and shoves it into her mouth and then ratchets it around her head until it's nice and snug. Can't
Nice.
move, can't talk, can't do no magic.
One way to do it, I guess.
Good job. Yeah. I mean, they would know because they're like a city of magicians
fair.
and stuff. So
Alright, works for me.
yep.
Thank you for your services. We'll deal with the barbarian into the next day.
May we know what would happen to her normally?
It goes through the same process they all do. Nothing much.
Do they just end up in a cell, or what happens?
Most will get moved out to either Wargrove or one of the other cities. See where they're most useful.
Okay. So she is going to be turned into a slave.
I don't care.
I don't know, maybe Fawn are the bad guys.
There's never really a bad or a good guy in these kinds of cases. It's always just perspective.
So I set up my tent back in that grove. Can I just sleep there instead?
Yeah, you can sleep all by yourself out there.
I have Agneta. I'm not alone.
Agneta kind of chews on your tent.
I have an extra piece of tent canvas left. I give her that instead.
She chews on the fresh one.
Okay.
But eventually we'll crawl into the tent and lay down, taking up the majority of it.
Oh, I give her the majority of
Yeah,
the
he's-
space. I don't. I like sleep in one corner,
He's a dwarf.
and then she
He's
has
the
the rest
size
of
of
the
one
tent.
of her butt cheeks. It's fine. You know, she needs the space.
Good
But
night,
the-
Agneta.
Aw.
Okay.
What else are we all doing for tonight? Are we just going back
Yeah, I'm
and
going to
resting?
If we're in Athana, I'm just going to my usual fishing spot.
It is the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Is it anywhere close to sunrise?
Not yet. It's like it's 1 or midnight right now.
Oh, cool.
It's literally the middle.
I can get like 3 hours of sleep until it's time to go fishing.
Yeah, perfect. For sake of brevity, if no one's going to do anything else, the sun will rise, and you all will have conducted the night safely. You can all kind of long rest.
I'm looking for where the freak is my tokens. Wait. Oh, right, I found. Never mind.
You're not on the map.
No, I'm here. I found myself.
His token is, but he is
Yeah,
not.
I'm just gonna put myself in the ocean.
River.
All the rivers end up in oceans.
Grandpa, what are you doing? Grandpa, what are you doing in my fishing river?
I am actually back in the grove. Yeah, but anybody else wanna?
I'm staying in the city, thank you. Civilization.
No, I was thinking anybody else wanna do something
No, I'm
before.
going to bed.
I think.
We
Yeah, when it's morning, I
got
think
our
we can
asses
just
handed
head
to
out.
us. That was a close one. I'm taking a nap.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. The morning comes, and what is the plan?
It's like a
Yes,
week to
you're-
get back hit dice,
You
right?
wake up, everyone's kind of gone.
Where is everybody? I assume they went back to Fauna, I think. So I'm just gonna stand down here by Leon's leathers and wait for them.
So is there a place of learning where I can find out what the fuck these people are and why they're attacking our thoughts?
You can find probably at the academy, if you're allowed in.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
Should
Sure.
we? No, sorry about this, but should we ask at Lilac's mysticism about the half transformation that went on?
No,
No.
I'd rather not go back there.
I mean,
That guy
if they
scammed
fucked up,
you.
it's their job to
This,
unfuck it.
Well, I wouldn't say they fucked up. It just didn't work, and we knew that going in that
Well, I mean,
the chances of
Did it not work? Or
Did we?
they
Yeah, but
gave
he
you the
still
opportunity
paid
for it to
200.
happen?
Ooh, that's a good.
I
If
don't
it's a-
know. We're gonna have to see what happens tonight on what really went down. I'd say
Yeah, but we
Can you-
still paid 200 gold for that.
I paid. Sure.
Yeah, if you don't
Alright,
want the
alright.
gold back, then don't have the gold back. We should
For all
see if
I
we
know,
can.
For all I know, he gave me a chance to resist it. We don't know actually what happened, so we should wait. to see
Yeah.
what actually happened.
All right.
Since we have to wait a whole nother night, I'm gonna go to the
Okay.
academy and see if I can find out something.
Sure. Sildar, you can head on over there. There is a receptionist right by the door. Goes, speaking in fluent Elvish. She starts off with Elder Elvish and greets you. Seeing your expression not really registering what she says, she switched to Common Elvish. Hello, how can I help?
Hi, so last night, my party and I encountered some. Oh shit! What the fuck? We just said their names. What was it? Scrawl? Screll? Scritchity Scratch? Help me out here, Press.
Okay.
I just said the name.
She just kind of looks at you. She's not helping you out, but it is Scora.
Alright, we're just some Scora, and
Oh.
I was wondering if I could
Filthy
find out why the
things.
hell they hate us so much.
hate you, I don't think they have any issue with
I thought-
humans.
Well, they also had an issue with humans.
Well, they also had an issue with humans living so close with elves.
What are you looking for then? Do you want me to point you in a direction, or?
I mean, I'm happy to find the information myself if I'm allowed to look, or where I can look. I don't want to bug you too much.
You're looking for a day pass. That's 10 gold
Okay.
for the day. And your name? She pulls out a
Silver
book.
Amos.
She writes it down. Profession?
Sailor and adventuring.
Right, a sailor and homeless. And no, she writes down adventurer in quotations. And a place of birth.
Hold on, where's the big map?
The Discord has the biggest map with all the names.
Let me. It's here somewhere.
You could just say from Itidil, because it's probably the closest. Oh.
Well, there was a spot. I just don't. Like, I know I picked something. I think. It was one of these four ones stupidly south. In Ospen.
Okay. Oh, from Ospen.
Yeah, it was in Ospen.
Alright. So what does Sildor say to her?
Just the region of Ospen.
Oh, you're from deep south. Okay. 10 gold fee, and you can have it for the day. We do not allow candles within the academy, and there is no lights. It helps to preserve the
How about
books.
this? And I use. How about this? And I
Do you
use one
need
from
a...
Temple.
Oh, excellent! You know some magic. That's cute. Alright, go ahead and in.
Alright, go try to find out stuff.
Alright. You can ask me a question and roll history or any history, religion, or anything like that, and I will give you an answer.
I guess. What's Arthana's point of view on why they? Oh Jesus!
You do get advantage, so
Okay.
because they are a
Arthana's point of
library.
view on why the scroll? You know what happened? You know with this supposed attacking them for no reason.
About 20 years ago, a new evoker had taken charge. In fact, they were a conjurist, at least that's what they said they were. The conjurist, or the high conjurist, decided that they needed to clear out some breathing room from the Jarls, as constant civil warfare would also spill into Athana. So they marched their armies out to the two closest Jarls and simply eradicated them. If you look where Skora is now, you can see that there's some distance between the two. Where that was the old lands before they got terminated by the Athenians. Without the Skora so close, they were able to live a much more peaceful life without the attacks from
See, I know
Skora.
there's a logical reason.
Yes. So by and I gotta double check my own. By Waydale and Muturium, the two bridges that cross over near the Cobalt Reservoir, are now much more peaceful without the constant attacks from the Jarls. They also list some records of slave keeping, about how many they took in and where they were placed to work, because, you know, they're just humans.
Alright. I'll go for any information on any up-to-date information about like the tribes and who's leading them and shit.
Not much. I mean, you did quite research a lot of the history, but as you kind of look for more up-to-date information, either you just couldn't find it, or the up-to-date information is just kind of basic. Most just keep it in passing, like there are slaves that uprise, and sometimes they have to be put down, and that there is a problem with the dryads that form from these groups.
Damn history book, you basic. Alright. I'll look for one more thing and then I'll stop hogging everyone's time. I'm gonna look up something on
That's fine.
On my special friend that I guess gave me superpowers. I don't know what button.
And what's the name?
The you know I don't do names. The sea dragon thing.
The one that you got in contact with? Roll religion, not history. So I think you got a +1 for both, right? Yeah. So I'll take that 16 since, you know, you still rolled it fair and square. Give me a second. I'm pulling it up. Thrum
Right.
is the one that you I know I had something written up. That was just yours. Thrum and Gaul are the two brother river gods, or the bay gods. Much of the history or religion about it is that they keep sailors' passages safe. Sometimes they will be seen swimming near sinking boats, and more or less keeping them afloat before they get to port. Other than that, most of their history, Thrum is the one who stays in the upper bays, whereas Gaul is in the southern one and keeps Senelit at bay. Often the two creatures will clash in the bay between them both. The channel, I forgot what I called it.
So what would happen if both
waiting for the
brothers
map to
fought
open.
Sinolith? Would they kick his ass?
So long as Senelit is within his bay, the brothers do not go that far south.
That's fair.
Everreach Bay,
I was just
Dolphin
thinking,
Bay.
like, you know, if both brothers attacked, maybe they could just get rid of the bastard.
Jambal Channel.
No, but there are passages that you read where it says the two speak of one who will eventually kill Senelit.
Cool. Thal, there's literally a Senelit Bay. It's in the very bottom. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, and Chambalt Channel, that is where Gaul usually stays and keeps both Senelit at bay and the other forces from crossing over, as they much more prefer the sentients in the east than the sentients on the west coast. As one is more barbaric and murderous than the other.
Wait, they prefer the east?
They prefer the humans, elves, and dwarves than the goblins and
The orcs.
goblins, orcs, and other creatures there. That's why one side is charted, the other side is not. People don't usually go over there.
Gotcha.
Right. Going to someone else. Revos, you're just fishing?
Yeah, buddy. I'm leaving the scholarly things to the scholars and the fishing to the fishers.
Xerthus, what are you up to?
I don't know. Kind of freaking out about being a werewolf and kind of just hanging out till tonight, trying to wait for it to see if it actually worked or not.
Alright. Lysander, you wanted to get yourself some silver thread?
Yes.
Alright, you could find yourself a the smithy who, when you ask about the silver thread, he says he could probably manufacture it. Not really
Well-
sure why you want
Oh,
silver
Since
thread.
he's going to the smithy, you want to take these weapons and keep what you want and sell what you don't.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll take the weapons with me and sell them.
Hey.
All of them, or are you keeping backups?
How much would it cost to? I mean, why not? Does anyone want to keep any?
I don't. Just wondering if you do.
I don't. I've got enough weapons as it is.
Hand axes or something, or does he not care? Like I don't.
I mean, I got plenty of weapons.
This is my current
Not to
attack
mention the
list
fact I am a weapon.
in roll 20, so
He'll
I've got enough.
He'll take the 18 weapons because it's 12 hand axes, 6 great axes, and give you under 20 gold for them all.
120. All right. How much does the thread cost?
The thread itself will be about 20.
So 100.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just stick that into the party inventory. Nobody edit.
Okay, and Bjorn, what do you want to do?
Done.
Revos would like to say at some point, though, it probably makes more sense to get, like a bunch of silver necklaces that we can all just chain together as opposed to just some silver
You
thread.
weave the thread with some rope, and then we have silvered rope. Ghetto silvered rope.
Yeah. We can just weave it together. Just put a string like around the rope or something like that, or in between the threads.
I personally, like the player behind the character, I actually know how to do that shit, but I'm pretty sure a sailor would probably be able to twist silver thread around a rope.
I would assume that you do. Yeah. And I think
rope makers.
Lysander
It's
would
not-
as well.
And this time, it's not uncommon skill. In fact, when people go, "Oh, I'll just cut the rope," people cry. Why would you cut that rope?
It's
Do you
perfectly
know how
good rope.
long it takes? Yeah, it takes perfectly good rope.
Don't cut rope. Don't cut rope. That's a lot of work. Right? Without modern
That's such a
manufacturing
waste,
machines,
yeah.
that's a lot of work.
It is. Especially since you also don't have nylon rope.
So, anyone else want to do stuff throughout the day? If not, we can continue to
if-
tomorrow.
I don't
Or
have
tonight.
I don't think I
any
said it, but
specific
Gift is actually hanging out with Revos and trying to help him fish. So if he's gonna do any kind of role for that, Gift is gonna give him a hand.
Oh yeah, Revos, why don't you roll me survival and see how well
Gift
you
is gonna,
fished
like,
up
fly
today?
around and try to like see where the fish might be and try to like guide Revos in that direction.
Maybe I hang out.
Revos.
I think I'll hang out with Timothy today, just dragging him around a bit, show him how I like handle with the smithy, and then maybe train a bit with the rapier afterwards.
Sure. Give me performance, as you're kind of more teaching, and I would say that's the best thing for teaching is performance.
Okay, I don't have it. Oof, my charisma's not great. 16.
All right,
Yeah.
2 16s in a row, guys.
D&D
Ah,
Beyond,
good,
Nice.
20 really rocking that rival.
Revos,
Yeah.
you, as you're kind of fishing about, you eventually see as, with the assistance of Chance kind of flying about, a big gnar You could finally see it as it's jutting around, especially around where you've been fishing, because you've killed a fish or two and didn't get it at the tip of your spear. Either they were just too small and you just threw too hard, or whatnot. But eventually, this big alligator gnar eventually clamps onto one of them, and you spear into its head, and it struggles before you lift it out, having to use both hands to lift this river monster up and out of the water. And people just kind of give you a look like, holy crap, that's huge. And many fishermen eventually gather near you and start to talk. Like, asking about it, seeing what you're going to do with it. Yes, Lysander, go ahead and add your guidance, because I guess you are guiding him.
Woo! Make it a 20.
He is not all that great with a rapier, but after a couple of hours training and stuff like that, and showing him the basics, especially with some footwork, he is starting to pick up on it. And before long, you do notice as you're about to teach him one of the moves, he surprises you by picking up pretty quickly and even jutting you in the arm once by accident. But the wound is minimum at best. And
I just quickly heal myself.
Yeah.
I'm
he
literally
apologizes
a cleric.
out as much as he can, but just seeing the.
Don't worry about it. Here, look at this, and I just cast a cure wound on myself. See, no worries.
Okay, and he kind of calms down a little bit, but eventually you guys get back to practicing as the day wanes on. Eventually. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Revos.
Sorry.
You caught a big fish. What do you want to do with the big fish? It's got to be at least like 3 feet long in like actual terms.
Sounds like the party's eating good tonight at the tavern. I guess I'll just drop it off at
Nice.
Whatchamacallit?
Bridgeport Tavern.
Yep, the Bridgeport Tavern.
As the day wanes on, eventually you guys all do make yourself around to the Bridgeport Tavern. Istri kind of serving most of them, their gruel and porridge and stuff. A simple, easy meal before Revos kind of walks in with the alligator Gar, and just plops it down on the table and goes, "What?"
I'm not familiar with this fish, but it looks like it can serve a lot of people. I leave it up to your culinary judgment.
Istri will go ahead and take it, and we'll start to cut off sections of it right there and then. And he goes, "Do me a favor, could you pull out the corpse and the guts? Boss probably doesn't want me gutting the fish in here, but could fit in the back room."
I probably should have cleaned it at the riverside. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I'll get it up cooking for you. Do you mind me serving the rest at the tavern? I could make a good fish and stew.
I certainly am not going to eat all this fish before it goes bad. You might as well make what use of it as you can.
All right. He chuckles and will go into the back as he cooks up a nice alligator gar grilled with a lemon seasoning on top of it, with a side of asparagus and potatoes.
That actually sounds kind of nice.
And serve your table, and we'll basically for the rest of the tavern make it the night special. But it is like 3 or 4 o'clock, and what are you guys wanting to talk about or do? Because eventually you do need to leave.
I'll share the information about what Arthana did, and why they hate. It's been a long week, all right?
Yeah. You did research on what the fauna versus the Viking
the
stuff
Jarls
was, right?
Yeah, because I verified.
Yeah, because I be right back. It's fine. I can
The
watch it on the
the
stream
the, the, the
between
Jarls say
next.
that Arthana attacked for no reason. Arthana attacked because the damn civil war is constantly happening and they are kept spilling into their land and threatening their people. So they're like, fuck off.
Ah, okay. Uh, this fish stew. Can we just eat it and then get out? Because how? I don't want to stay here too long, right? Werewolf
Yeah,
stuff.
I have no problems with that.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
let's
can
just
check
eat
to
up.
see if anyone's going north on shipping lanes tomorrow, and then we can
That would be
handle that.
great. Yeah, please do that. Or you mean wait,
We're
north?
going north to
Aren't we
go
going
west.
west? Oh right, yeah,
We're
you're
going
right.
northwest
I
to then
remember
go
the
west.
river doesn't go there. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, go ask that. While everybody else was doing stuff, could I have just picked mushrooms for when we level up?
I mean, you've
Okay.
been growing your own mushrooms
Yeah.
underneath your clothes for months.
Okay, perfect.
It's what gives you that sweet vinegar and moldy smell.
You.
What smells like piss and vinegar? Oh, that's just the door.
That's just Usyk. No, wait, I'm not Usyk. Fuck, that's just Two-Spoon coming in.
Tomato potato.
Um,
One's a bland fruit and the other's a potato.
You know,
It's up to you guys. I'm just letting you guys do
I'll
what
see
you
if
want.
any ships are leaving for
I'm
north
just
tomorrow,
waiting for us.
and if I can get us on one.
Or for me.
Okay.
And what tonight do you guys want to do?
For the night, we're gonna go back out and make sure Xerthus doesn't turn into a freaking wolf again.
Yep. Into the woods again.
Hopefully this time we don't run into another raiding party.
Yep, after you guys finish up with the alligator gar and the rest of the food, and had your drinks, which were kind of on the house since Istri did make a killing off of the alligator gar. I mean, to a point, you guys aren't getting the fancy shit, but, you know,
Yeah.
to a point.
I also bought the really expensive shit.
You guys will head back on out. I forget which map I used. Oh, yeah, so.
You still got the grog on the menu. You gotta get a line through that.
That's fine. Y'all know it's gone.
If we find another bottle, we are identifying it before someone just shoves it down their throat. Right? Be a real waste for Revos to drink the extra spell slot bottle.
That works for me. We can sit down and buy it. We verify it and see if it says anything.
Could you imagine Revos drinking the extra spell slot bottle? That's painful, just thinking about it.
You guys got the silver thread, right?
I did, yes.
Okay, I'm quite sure that will just break easy, so are we like putting it into something?
Oh, you may have missed it. We were talking about it. I'm gonna take rope and weave it in.
Yep.
As you guys kind of leave, it's quite cool tonight. Low of about 3.7 Celsius, or about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah,
Wait, that's
very
summer.
cool.
Sweden.
And there's only a few clouds in the sky, which makes you believe that the transformation, if it's going to happen, won't be like last night where you're waiting around hours for the rain to finally subside.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, do we know if like calm because if the clouds can stop it, then I would consider that other object or like other physical things can block the moonlight
That's
from.
that's what I was thinking. Like, if there was like a cave, can we just fucking hide in it?
I was thinking my tent canvas.
I have no idea, but
Well,
let's not.
or yeah, we can huck him in a tent and see what
Yeah,
happens.
I'll just after we bind him up, I'll just like put my tent canvas over him.
Okay,
We
so
can try that.
I want to get this straight. You're putting the silver thread in the rope
Yeah.
first, and then you're going to bind me with it and then hook me into a tent.
Yes.
Okay.
No, we're binding you up next to the tree, and then I'm putting the tent canvas like around the tree.
All right. Let me know when you try to bind me with the rope with the silver.
Now,
I figured it was just gonna touch your clothes, but my character doesn't know that. So
I will make sure that it only touches your clothes.
This, nope.
No?
I'm not getting near that.
Hmm.
We won't have to worry about me transforming into a werewolf.
you're not gonna instantly drop dead from touching silver, right?
No, not instantly, but
How much damage do you take around for touching silver?
minimum 10.
Oh, all right, that is a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how about one of you just like holds it and then throws it at me or something?
Yeah, I can do that.
There are some.
Throwing it would.
I'll make the
Dexterity or
I'll make the rope into a sort of makeshift net that looks like shit, and then just tie you up with normal rope.
To make it for that, Silver, just roll a sleight of hand as you come into it. Yeah, actually, with your experience on boats and such, it doesn't take long for you to maneuver the rope into what looks to be a beautiful net. Very strong, very durable, and even though you were like, it's kind of shitty, it's not the best. Everyone else goes, it looks like a good fucking net. So they're like, don't doubt yourself.
I deal with quality shit, man. This is nothing.
I'm gonna try putting up the tent canvas around him when we're. What's the? Because I don't have silver weapons, so what's the plan if he does escape?
Why didn't you get like a silver dagger or something?
Stab him with a silver weapon.
I don't use metals.
You don't use iron, no?
I don't use metals. I don't have any.
I think Rivers and Lysander have it under control. If I'm sure.
And I
have
think
enough. Iron silver right there.
yeah, gameplay it's only like armor, but I figured I don't use metal whatsoever. Yeah.
Yes, no metal armor, no metal shields.
Yeah,
But you can use scimitars, maces, etc.
yeah, I can, but I'm not. I might like get a silver sickle later.
Good.
Just
Let's
might
see.
be-
Apparently, encasing your body with metal distances yourself from the earth, whereas wearing a blade does not. Holding a blade does not. That's
That
another
sort of
lore
makes
reason
sense.
for druids.
Yeah, does surface feel anything yet? Yeah, I haven't had to make a roll yet.
The
So I
moon?
wasn't-
The night is approaching, but it's only about sundown now as you guys approach the clearing.
Oh, hold on. I have to.
I mean, your character isn't next to the tree, so.
No, because I assumed it wasn't sundown yet. So,
The-
like, next
Oh,
day.
we should tie you up as fast as possible.
Do we have any way to buff his wisdom?
I can. If presence is okay, I could have changed one of my spells to be enhance ability.
We have
Yeah,
You had a long rest, but you should have changed it then.
yeah.
So before night down comes, I cast 8 on
That's smart. That's smart.
on surface. And wait, yeah. So that's the one that increases. Oh shit! Sorry, wrong
You
one.
should have done 8.
I'll take extra
No,
hit.
wait.
I'll take the
No,
points for killing
not
all.
aid. What's
Yeah, I forgot.
noblesse?
No, it's no. Well, no, I have a better one. I meant enhance ability.
Yeah.
That's the one. Sorry. And then you would
Oh, you
get
have
the
that. Okay,
one.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I have literally every spell. I can just sit for a minute and I can change my spells that I want.
Twilight, you.
And then you get the one that.
Owl's wisdom.
Owl's wisdom, yes. So you have advantage on wisdom checks.
That's so good. Okay. Yeah.
And I'll cast Stand There Admiring My Rote Work.
Silver. Okay, Surface. I'm gonna have to. Have you tied him up yet, Silver?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting the tent canvas over you now.
Oh, how?
I'm just like putting it over and then tying a rope around it.
I'm. I hate to break this to you, but that's how you suffocate people.
No, like it'll. There's gonna be air coming through the bottom.
Tent canvases are extremely heavy. You put
Yeah, I
them
know.
and tie it to them. They're not gonna have enough air to breathe and are still against.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
the point.
how do you plan on doing this?
I mean, there's probably a bunch of holes in it from Agneta eating from it, so.
I could just make a blanket and put it over myself.
No, I put the moldy tent canvas over it.
If it's a tent,
Like filled with like.
if it's a tent, then you have tent poles, and you can probably jerry rig a lean-to type.
No, it's just a tent canvas.
I
It's one
walk
of
up.
Agneta's favorite meals.
I walk up and take the tent canvas away from Bertus. So that he can
No.
Thank you. We'll see what.
breathe. Here's Bjorn. If it holds out water against rain, it also might cause suffocation.
I am trying my theory, okay?
Your theory's
Ignanta will go and take the tent canvas from the other.
No.
Start eating it.
Yeah. Start numbing on it.
It's like when a kid has like a big blanket and it like scrapes the floor behind them.
Yeah, then she'll drop it there and come back.
Yeah, I guess wait for Presence to tell you to make a wisdom save.
I will also cast guidance on you. No, I can't. It's concentration, both of them.
Oh.
I really hope I have to roll before an outdoor happens, otherwise Kent's ability is going to be gone.
I mean, I would do it just before the moon comes up, and I will twin. Sorry, not twin it. I will extend it so that it's 2 hours.
Alright.
Yep, I will say that you kind of plan a little bit accordingly. So Revos,
Yeah.
what would you like to do in preparation? Or are you just kind of not worried whatsoever? Because it's just a puppy.
When it starts getting time, sorry, that's what I was.
I forgot my mic was knocked down. I'm just like Renos is just like kind of not worried. Like I kind of feel like a lot of this is just like over, like a lot of this is hyperbole, and like it's not going to be nearly as bad as like you guys are making it out to be. Because like I'm kind of used to the idea of like taking on bestial forms or aspects.
Perhaps I'm casting mage armor on myself.
Can you move?
Before I
You're
have to
tired.
sooner.
I mean, they did tie it down. So it's mage armor, verbal, somatic, and material.
Okay. So, alright.
Alright, and Soldier, what were you saying?
I'm gonna hex his dexterity. Because that won't hurt him trying to resist it, but it will hurt him trying to get out.
Ooh, that's smart.
Okay. Gotta throw a little hexy symbol onto him. Yeah. And Zarthus, as the moon starts to peek over some of the branches and hills, you get a glimpse of the full raw power. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw? Nice.
Let's do this again.
Oh god.
Nice.
Do you have a picture or do you want me to send you a picture?
With advantage, but yeah, it's 11.
Yeah, it's an 11. I did a DC 20 last night. Oh damn.
As you kind of look up, the blurring begins. Your eyes begin to unfocus as your mind feels a sudden rush.
Can
As if
I?
the title.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry, but if I see him transforming, can I cast Moonbeam on it?
Can I transform first? I want to see what it looks like.
I don't want the curse to grab a hold of you.
The curse is already there.
Yes, but if you last through this, it might not like take hold completely. And
I
then
think it's already taken hold. I think that's why it didn't work because we were too
okay.
late.
If you want to cast Moonbeam, just at any point in the description, you can go ahead and cast it, and just tell me
Okay.
you're casting. Okay?
All right, I'll just click it if I do.
Yeah. As if a tidal wave has crashed into you, white-hot pain begins. Involuntarily, you release a painful scream. You can hear as your arms snap and crack, bones breaking as you feel your skin pulling, stretching, and tearing. Tips of your fingers burn bright as bones protrude forth into black claws, hands swelling and extending into powerful claws.
Anytime now, Lysander.
Each inch of skin burns as hair grows forth from every pore. As the pain travels from your limbs, you feel your cheeks and jaws begin to grow, face tearing, shearing off as muscles and bones protrude forth. Skin regenerating as fur extends out in a black flash, your eyes twist and reform, white hot pain pulsing through your consciousness. Alright, go ahead and throw it down, and Xerthus, make me a Constitution save at disadvantage. The moonbeam, as it strikes down from the moon, will revert you painfully back into a werewolf. Or back into an elf.
Oh god! Oh god!
According to the ruling of the transformations page, it says if it applies to shapeshifter, it does affect.
If it what?
Or reading your line going.
Here, this is the description for Moonbeam.
He's talking about the homebrew content transformations.
Ah, okay.
Press me the back that I was been looking over.
Does it say where in it? Does it say something with shifter or what?
Under boon, it says shapeshifter's form. Your strength increases by 2 on 1. You become a shapeshifter in addition to any of the creature types you are. Spells and abilities that affect the certain things. So
I mean, Moonbeam is like specifically meant to do this sort of stuff. So.
no,
Yeah, it is.
specifically meant to F up Changeling and Doppelgangers originally.
Well, also,
Though you are a shape changer, this spell cannot revert you back into an elf. So even though you do take disadvantage against the damage, and you will continuously take damage, your form continues onward.
if I see that he doesn't stop the transformation, I also stop the Moonbeam. But I mean, if it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form and can't assume a different form until it leaves the spell's life.
Yes, but that does not have any change on it, based on the curse itself.
Okay, so the curse overrides the Moonbeam.
Yes. That's for more shape changers like polymorph or other creatures too.
I mean, shape change is shape change.
Yes and no. It's
Okay.
just how the ruling will work.
Okay, you're the DM.
But if you want, you can go ahead and cancel it as
Yeah.
you just see the radiance damage. And we'll continue from where I last left off. As his face is kind of changing and pain is pulsing through him, you can see as his clothes start to rip and tear. Kind of trying to, as his the wolf form starts growing past them and just shearing the fabric off. Make me a strength check, Xerthus.
You want to throw the net now, Silver?
Luckily, an 8, as he starts to tug and rip at the bindings, will not break him.
I don't have the net. You guys have the net.
What? You're the one that had it.
Revos, throw the net.
Okay, Rebels throw the net.
The boots start to split open as the balls of his feet reform and shape into the hind paws of the lycanthrope within.
Rebels
And
throw.
forth as
Throw
otherwise any sense of consciousness left within.
Throw the
I take the
kitchen.
net out,
Pulse
bro.
of pain. Go ahead, make me a strength attack. Just make me a range attack roll.
Range is dexterity, no?
20 plus plus dex.
So plus 0. So just a roll 20.
Yep. He is
That's a
restrained.
nice
You get
3.
advantage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you get advantage.
15.
The silver net will cover over his head and an exposed body as you can start to see it smoke and burn. At least his flesh, not the rope itself. He lets out a sudden howl of pain and a powerful snarl as the ropes themselves start to really get to their breaking point as his body keeps reshaping and glowing. Before you guys see these arcane shackles start to appear on each limb, spectral chains bursting forth from the ground and wrapping and restraining the lycanthrope against a tree as you watch a sigil burn into its chest. 2 rings within the arcane sigil twist as the skin and several holes start to open from the lycanthrope. But instead
I
of
walk
blood
up and
leaking out,
grab the net boy.
instead of blood leaking out, this black ichor drains out, and the creature howls in pain before slowly diminishing, limbs shrinking, body collapsing before the arcane chains release, and all that has remained is a mostly naked, exhausted, and an unconscious Xerthus, covered only in the ragged remains of boots and clothes.
Press
Oh, so the spell maybe worked.
It worked, but way later than we thought it would, so.
Yeah.
Press how
Oh.
you say the net was on me.
You're fine as is.
Okay.
I immediately cast 2 Cure Wounds for both first level.
Yeah. Why can't you get those kind of healing in combat?
I know, right? I mean, to be fair, the first one was literally just a half. Yeah.
Yeah, it was average. The
Yeah.
second one's pretty
The
good.
second one was pretty good.
But he does just kind of collapse and returns to an elf form. Apparently, the Arcanist was not a scam artist.
Nice.
He might have been able to be more clear.
Are you completely healed, by the way, Xerthus?
He's
No.
Then I will cast another one.
I told you you should have gotten the first cure.
Yes.
Don't be youngsters.
Hold on.
I'm unconscious.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Yes,
give a
you are conscious for 1 hour.
Okay.
Alright, well, Hex only lasts an hour, so it'll be on when he wakes up.
Yeah, I guess we can carry him into town now, right? We just have to do that.
You're good with the last heal, right? Sorry.
Yeah, he's at
Yeah, he's at full looks. So as you go over to heal him, your healing does. You can kind of see where it might have scarred without your healing, but where the sigil is burned into his chest, and each pulse of healing slowly closing up those holes in his chest that seem to have stopped bleeding out this black ichor, and eventually healing away the scars of what would have been a really nasty, hideous mark upon his chest.
So I removed that with my healing.
Yeah.
Nice.
All big chicks dig scars.
And
There are plenty of other scars on his body. We don't need the big one on his chest.
I told you you should have gotten the cure you got down.
I'm still unconscious.
I know,
He
I
is
know.
still
I'm
I will carry him. I will carry him.
We can put him on a... No, wait. Who's gonna with
No, I will carry him.
Okay, carrying him. That's fine.
Do I need to roll a strength check, or does it just
He's
happen?
not that heavy, I don't think.
Okay. I don't know how heavy he is.
It's a wizard. They don't carry much, except for the burdens of all the spells in their spellbook. Sildor and Revos, after you saw him almost transform into a werewolf, how are we feeling?
Pretty happy he's not a werewolf.
Do it again.
Let's never do that again.
Yeah, Husbjorn hates him for not taking the original cure.
Well, given that this,
I need to keep Husbjorn away.
given that it worked and he's not dead.
In character, I don't know about the whole wild meat.
Mm-hmm. You don't.
I don't think I do either, but it worked and he's not dead.
Only Xerthus and Lysander do.
Yeah, let's head back to town. Get some sleep.
Yep. Get a full rest.
Yep. In the morning. What did I find out, President? What boats are leaving in the morning?
Just roll me a investigation as you kind of go up and down the pier, figure out what boats are there, which ones are, and to know the crap.
I will stay watch over Xerthus during the night.
Yep.
Do I find a boat?
You do find a boat that will leave north. You can always, take the trouble.
Yay.
Okay, we're doing that first thing in the morning then.
Or we're doing it whenever the hell the boats leave. When's it leaving?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Whenever the boat is leaving.
They're not going to run off our schedule. We're baggage.
So, are we in the city in the morning now, or what?
Yeah, you guys head back into the city carrying Xerthus, who, about time when you enter the city, he is waking up.
Hey there, Sleeping Beauty. How are you feeling?
Sorry, I'm doing the video call with my sister. She was in the college as well. So I was ow?
Yeah, sorry about the silver, but...
What? I kind of blanked out halfway through.
Ah.
So what?
You did not transform. The magician was not a scam.
You sorta did.
You were almost there in the complete transformation, and then arcane shackles showed up on your body.
Okay. So here's the question: Am I no longer cursed, or do I just whenever I transform that happen?
We don't know. However, during this happening, some black ooze left your body.
Yeah, black ooze left my body when he read the original schedule.
Yeah.
It was more of a presence question, because other stuff happens if I'm still cursed.
As far as you know, you're not cursed anymore.
Okay.
At least, you do feel parts of you missing yet even more. You do feel kind of more like a hollow shell.
We're gonna keep. Okay.
It's probably going to happen like 4 or 5 more times before he's finally fixed.
I want to see if there's anything missing within him.
My emotions.
I rolled 2 5s. What the hell?
I told you should have gotten the silver cure.
Are we in the city, Chris?
We are near the gates.
Yep. So if I were to shoot magic at Husbjorn, would I get arrested?
Probably not, because you also have a license.
Okay.
And we're not in the city yet, so.
Eeny, miny.
Missile, you'll be sure to.
Eeny, meeny, miny, polymorphed into a tadpole.
I was gonna do 48 damage to it. I think I'll pass.
Show me what you got. We're gonna long rest after this.
Rip.
Show me what you got.
Anyway.
You go.
Okay, I cast Chromatic Orbit.
Yeah. How much damage?
I have to hit first. Hold on.
You're blind for 1 minute. I'm not gonna do damage to you.
Constitution save. Oh yeah.
I'm great, please. Can you tell?
And then I bonk you in the head.
Alright,
Do
you
not
take,
attack old man, okay?
you would take 1d4 fire damages, right?
Okay, I'll take the 1d. You'll take. Wait, I need to bonk you. Unless you have 15 hits.
Yeah.
You take 8 and I take 3, okay? Then we're done.
I still have you in my. Oh no, I don't anymore.
Do not.
Am I still holding you?
I don't know if you are, you're being burned.
Then I wouldn't be.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's with the. Oh, right.
I walk up to Xerthus and cast Cure Wounds.
Why did you heal him? No, wait, don't.
I did.
Okay, whatever. We're gonna longer anyway.
And I look at you, Thorn, and then keep walking.
Alright.
Knowing that you're injured as well.
He attacked me, okay?
It's what you said happened before that. You're like the barbarian. Like, oh my god, they attacked me. We have to take revenge.
Can I give surface with fungus?
What?
You're doing that.
I'm sorry, what?
I just want
You
to
can try to slide a hand some mushrooms into his things if you want.
I have no things, so I don't know where you're sliding mushrooms.
But his boots are completely ripped and torn apart from his feet morphing out of it.
Yep.
Can I do
Yeah,
it?
But
Just like Druidcraft, just give him fit fungus.
you could try. Roll me Arcana.
I'm going to minor conjure myself some boots. So I can wear boots.
Sure.
Level 2 class feature. Boots.
You cast down boots.
So stupid.
Use Bjorn, go ahead, Arcana. Yeah, you put some mushrooms in his toesies.
Okay, perfect. And then I'm grumpily leaving to Bridgeport Tavern and getting a room.
Yeah,
Just stupid kids these days.
What is everyone else up to for the evening?
I need to buy clothes.
Leave.
Everywhere's kind of closed. In the morning, you could probably buy some clothes.
Alright.
If anything, I'll probably go buy you some clothes or someone else, rather than you going over the street like this.
For the sake of brevity and just kind of get the ball rolling, we only have 2 more hours, I think.
I can
Does
stay
anyone
for
want to
longer
take it now? I can't. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
So, anyone want to take a 5 or 10 minute bio break, and we'll be back afterwards?
Yep, sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay,
Alright.
we'll do that.
get to the point where I can press demi-plane and just say epic and then just go through button.
Demi
Matt's got demi-plane.
Demiplane is fun.
Previous campaign.
You have to you gotta prep. You know, you take your demiplane and you fill it with acid, and then you open the door underneath someone's feet, and then you close the door after they fall in, and now they're trapped in a dimension of a puddle of acid.
Or you cast demi-plane, fill it with a bunch of create undead ghouls.
Yeah.
So, as soon as the time stops, time goes different other dimensions. So you just have an army of ghouls behind the door. Like horrible army.
Oh god, being level 15 would be like insane for a lot of stuff.
I can also cast Magnificent Mansion and we can all go sleep in my own like
I love hearing people describing their magnificent mansions. Like it's you need to come up with something fun if you're gonna do that.
I mean,
I will, trust me. By the time we get to level 13, I will have something.
Hopefully, by the time we hit level 13, I'll have finished making my character, because I'm still not totally sure what Sildor is.
I mean, somebody would probably be dead by level 15 though. At least like one character would be exchanged. Guys, I'm just looking at like level 15 stuff, and it's like, oh, plane shift, and then there's just transport via plants.
Oh yeah, that's you walk into a tree and you walk out of another tree.
Yeah, so weird.
Are we starting again, or?
Are we ready?
Almost. Waiting on Rebels, I think.
Alright.
For sure.
Great post.
Yeah, it would be cool to be that high, but I hope that happens, but might be a while.
He's probably in the kitchen or in the bathroom.
If he's still away, I'm gonna go put some popcorn in the
At
microwave.
15, I have an 8th level Mystic Arcanum. That's fun.
I'm not certain how far we're going.
Yeah, I get it.
I have plot points and I have plenty of things for you guys to do, and even at those higher levels, it'll still be tough.
Well, that's fun though.
You still have like 6 characters backstories to also deal with.
Alright. I also have a backstory. I forgot about that.
We will burn those bridges when we get to them, sometimes figuratively and sometimes literally. Are we all back?
Ravos isn't.
Bunch of party poopers and join in the chant.
And
Oh Jesus, Crown of Stars. That would be fun. I'm looking too far ahead, right? Should we be focusing on level 5?
right at level 10, I get Divine Intervention.
You know what's funny is that we're almost level 5 in Alignus's campaign. Yeah, here I thought he was going so much faster.
If you roll them. Wow, that's great. Divine Intervention. Beginning 10th level, you can call on your deity to intervene on your behalf when your need is great. Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action, describe the assistance you seek, and roll a percentile dice. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, the deity intervenes. The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell or domain spell would be appropriate. If your deity intervenes, you can't use this feature again for 7 days. Otherwise, you can use it again after you finish a long rest. After 20th level, your call for intervention succeeded automatically, no roll required.
It's a get out of jail free card once every 7 days if you succeed.
If you manage to do it, yeah.
In my other campaign I played, our cleric has succeeded twice, and both times we've held the problem.
This is the easiest way. Oh, you need to get away? Both.
I mean,
teleport us out.
I guess it depends on which deity you have.
Yes. Like the God of War might imbue everyone with temporary hit points, or like magic weapons for that, you know, like they do something.
Yeah.
Reverence. Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Is he gone?
No, he's still here.
I know, but, you know, bio break. Let me just go get a drink. And if he's not back by then, I'm gonna go kick him. But it'll take some time. I have to drive out there. So, see you guys in about 14 hours then.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry everybody, I'm back. Jen and
Hey!
we were having a discussion about housing stuff.
All's fair. We were wondering what's going on.
Yeah, well, I went to, well, since you said like a 5-minute bio break, I went to Jen. I was like, hey, it's a 5-minute pedal break. So that 5-minute pedal break ended up turning into 15. Turned into a 15-minute pedal break plus like discussion over like, you know, trying to discuss what we want to do with Jen's mother's house because Jen's mother, you know, started dating again and it's working out really good with the new guy. So like, you know,
Gotcha.
you know, we're talking like if she like, you know, goes and goes and moves in with her boyfriend, that'll leave Jen and me here at the house. I can move out of my apartment, stop paying a ridiculous amount of money per month to my landlord, and start putting money into Jen's house.
Nice.
So
That sounds good.
Okay.
plus it would be great because it's like it would be like I love this house. Like Jen and I have been like we've only been romantically involved for like about 3.5 years, but like I've known her for like half my life, so it's like I'm very familiar with the house and stuff like that. So it's like anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm here. I'm just making a cup of coffee. I got my headset on.
Nice.
Nothing new.
All right, so let's get back into it.
AKA kitchen.
Go!
All right. So you guys are. It was the next morning. Sildor went ahead to Umbaro and asked about certain ships that might be leaving up north. In which case he says, "Oh, I got yeah, I have a few little paddle ships and river ships that go out there. He's got one sailing ship headed towards Mitrium that he can get you on.
Alright.
And he's got another one headed to Cathan, but nothing really crosses the reservoir.
Okay, so then do we want Mitrium or Cathan, guys?
Do we want to stop in Mithrium or do we want to immediately go to Cathan?
What do we know of those locations?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Any rolls for that?
Roll me history.
Ooh, I can do that. Okay, then Silver can do better than me.
I don't get any advantage for being a map nerd, right?
You can. Yeah, you can roll. I'll give you advantage because you're a math nerd.
Nerd.
Oh, let's go 19.
Zerthis, there we go. There's our nerd.
21.
Intelligence caster.
Plus 6, holy crap.
Damn.
Wizard.
Mitrium is more of the population hub of all of Athana. A lot of people live there, as well as some of the wealthier people live there. It's one of the more important trade routes because it just borders several places. Ithana's good, but Ithana's main trade routes are from Mitrium to the Dwarven Kingdom of Kadian.
You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing if we want to find masterwork stuff, we need to go to Mitrium.
I can hear that as well. Also, the fact that the heaving stream is so we literally just have to walk across this tiny bit.
I already have Masterwork stuff. You can get Masterwork stuff at the farm.
And what's the other place present?
The Cathon is more of the hub where you can find your mages. A lot of mages go there to train. It's one of the easier places. It has a nice little lake to look out of, so a lot of the wealthier people like to, go out there and learn from their masters.
Magic.
Magic is good, but are they going to give us the time of day?
Let's find out.
This is something within Ithana, and we have already the licenses. So they should at least give us.
You have travel papers too.
We do. Where was this stone? Oh, the stone is over but down heaving stream, so that doesn't matter anyway. We could also just go to one and then visit the other, and
Yeah, we can go to Mithrium first and then go to Catham after.
I just want to find the Misan, so.
well, it's in the direction. That's why we're going up. So let's go to Myth because it's closer, and then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get us past. Well, see, I get free passage on ships. If the DM wants to present that to the party, that's on him. But he wants.
Why do you get free passage?
Because I'm a sailor.
Oh, okay.
And I wove my backstory into it to make it make more sense.
It's up to you. I mean, there is a cargo ship heading up there, and they don't mind being a little bit of a transport ship, especially since your name was talked up a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Go on one of the sailing ships that is heading up there, regardless.
I'm just saying it's dealer's choice. Like, I get free passage. If they get free passage because you want them to, that's fine. But technically, it's just me.
Sailing ship, which isn't going to stop and is only headed towards Cathal as a transport vessel. Well, it's not. It's headed towards Waydale, I think it's called. It is looking it'll transport you up there, no problem. The one that's stopping in Mitrium is the cargo vessel. It will stop in Mitrium. It's a little bit slower, but it is free. The other one will charge you though. It'll be a little bit faster, and they can make a stop if you want along the river if you're willing to jump out and paddle over there real quick. But they're on a schedule.
Yeah.
So it's up to you guys. You want to pay or you want to just get on the barge?
I don't mind either way. We have over 150 gold in our party inventory. I don't think it costs that much to transport, so maybe you should just pay. Because it's more comfortable ship.
The fees looking pretty strong. It's about a gold.
Let's just take the pay then.
On the way. Let's go.
So wait, that's including Timothy minus silverware, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And we gotta drag.
Adriana as well.
Yep.
Do we have to pay for the donkey?
Yes.
Donkey.
How much?
I mean, half a gold.
Okay, so that's
As long
6.5
as I'm
gold.
pissed. Yep.
We have silver.
Yeah, we only have 45 silver, not 50.
Oh.
Excuse me.
So
We'll make his Bjorn pay for his damn donkey.
Yeah, you can pay for your donkey.
How much?
50 silver.
I got
What?
5 silver.
Oh, sorry, 5 silver. Oh, well then I could have done it. Well, whatever. This donkey.
okay. I will pay for it.
Donkey.
Just give it a moment. I just put this map in.
Mm-hmm.
I could upload the super high res one and you guys could see, so you get the slightly lower res one.
Because it's
No.
just a little bit bigger than I want it to be.
Yeah, it's harder to read the names. Oh wait, no, they came in kind of clear. Okay, that's good.
For me, it's still not loaded.
It's loaded for me.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
I'll see it.
It's a switch where the capital would be in Athana, because Athana was supposed to be the capital.
I might have to refresh. I also don't hear any music, so I think I'll just refresh.
It's kind of quiet ambiance. Alright, you guys are paying and heading up the river, though, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm gonna mix in with the crew and lend a hand. You know, keep my positive reputation, being a chill dude.
They would definitely not mind the extra help. But without further ado, here we are.
Oh. You get a chance to load.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome to the elven ship of Cathan.
It looks elven.
I think I know where.
Looks very elven.
It is. You've got the leader of the ship, and you would have known his name as he greets you, this elderly gentleman named Illicif in the back. And then you got his hearty crew of elven sailors, who all are equipped with little, rapiers and other things, just to and they're just tackling around the usual things around the ship. It kind of greets you and, asks each of you your names. My name is Elusive. What do I owe the pleasure of your acquaintances?
I bow to him and stick my hand out and go, my name is Lysander Altalu. Thank you for taking us on your ship.
Oh, well, welcome to Cathan. The ship has sailed these rivers to and fro for almost 3 decades.
That is a mighty fine ship you have here that's been lasting for quite a while.
Thank you so much.
I am the who's Bjorn, and this is my lady Agneta.
Your lady is a donkey?
Yes. You have a problem with that?
And your names? Crunch, crunch.
Okay.
My grandpa there, he's a little wacky and a little old-fashioned. Just don't go looking for the bell end underneath his mushrooms. Yeah, I'm Reverence.
Well, Zerthis, and Adriana will introduce herself. And Adriana, nice to be of acquaintances. Well, you can sit back. We have some lovely couches for you to be seated, and you can enjoy the ride. It should take no more than a day to meet at Mistrium, and we could dock port side there. Do not go below deck. That is only the cargo hold. And if you need any assistances, my crew will help you out. And keep an eye out for everything else.
Yeah, so Gift is in the forward crow's nest, and I'm taking up just some rigging somewhere, doing work.
It's very nice to have such a master of a sailor Sodor upon our boat. Men, keep an eye out. Maybe you can learn a thing or two.
Oh, it's an honor to be on such a well-crafted vessel. Quality captain.
I'm tying one end of a rope to my glaive and tying the other end to my wrist, and I'm going to go over to the side and start looking to go spearfishing.
You might want to do that more towards the back. Like right around here. Yeah. Because what's going to happen is you're going to spear it, and then the tide, the movement of the ship's going to drag it behind.
This is why he's the sailor.
Yes, get us some lunch if you could. There are plenty of fish. Just keep an eye out for anything that looks sharp and pointy for us, why don't you?
Sharp and pointy tends to be my shtick.
Anyone else hear the Deckard Cain voice?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Listen, this is just like one old man's voice, okay? Like, look, I'm trying to do voices.
No, it's good. I can't help but think of Deckard Cain for some reason.
I will go ahead and take a nice lounge. What is Lysander and Xerxes up to upon this vessel? Have you ever been on a boat? I know Lysander has. But Xerxes?
Oh. Nope, he's sitting as close to the middle of the boat as he can, reading his book because he's no idea what the fuck is going on.
It does rock, but it's not like open water. It's rocking and twirling against big waves. Most of the waves are just coming from one direction, and they're just kind of river water.
Never been on a boat before. Let's not do this again.
Wait, yeah, you have. You were on a boat because we took you to the thing.
That was like a stream.
It's a large river, much larger than this one.
Oh, but we're good. I don't like boats. Still.
It's so easy to travel, though. I mean, unless you can friggin' fly.
Or teleport.
Can you teleport? Why are we on this boat if you can teleport?
I'm working on it.
Not that I don't mind being on a quality ship, but why if you can teleport? Then...
We can't teleport yet.
I, funny enough, at some point can teleport, but I think it only works between different worlds. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, if we get level 5 spells, I'm like staying down like every town we go to and find the teleportation system.
When I get a level 6 spell, one of the spells I can potentially pick is we all fall asleep and we dream of another world, and if the spell isn't interrupted, we wake up and our bodies are shunted into that world.
That's Dream of the Blue Veil, I think it's 7.
Oh, maybe it was 7, but yeah.
It's a spell. It's a dumbass spell.
It's a great spell. It's like Plane Shift, but better.
We're going to Eberron.
So what are we up to?
I mean, is there like actual dolphins and stuff around the boat?
There are actual fish swimming about. Big ones, small ones, just...
Some the size of your head.
Yeah. No, not like that.
I would like to ritual cast Speak with Animals and like lean overboard and look at them and talk to them.
You are going at a significant pace, but one of the fish kind of gets up and looks at you.
Hello there. My name is Husbjörn. So I was thinking. Wait, they can't reply, right? Can they? I think they can.
I don't know. He kind of replies. Let's just go with it. I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah, they can reply. So I was thinking, maybe you guys could do like a little show for us. Are they like actual dolphins? If they're not dolphins, that probably won't be.
It's not dolphins. It's just fish. Like the gar and stuff like that, the river gars and other big fish.
Do you guys want some mushrooms?
What's a mushroom?
I make a bunch of mushrooms in my hand and I drop it into the sea. Or river, sorry.
Several fish come up and quickly devour them before swimming back under. Only the curious ones staying up.
Yeah, so how's the weather been recently? I'm just
Cloudy. Silt's been digging up since the rainstorms come up towards north. My cousin up near the mystery says that just to give you locations, they actually do call it that. He says they've been dumping things in the water. Lots of chum up there, bottom sticking out here where the little fish is coming.
Wait, where have they been dumping stuff?
Just watch out for them slicers and whatnot under the waters if you come jumping on in, you hear?
Yep. Where did you say they dumped something?
Mystery jumps chum in the water.
Is that a town?
It's where we're going, yes.
Yeah, okay. They dumped. I'm just writing a note. Sorry.
Mystrium's chumming the waters for better fishing. That's intelligent.
Yeah,
It's a good move.
And then suddenly, as soon as the fish comes up, he leaves, diving back under.
Yeah, I don't want to take the rest of the session by talking to fish.
Speaking of fish, how's Revos doing?
Bjorn, as you're kind of leaning over the side, roll me a perception.
Oh god. And that's 20?
There's other fish underneath the surface. They're kind of gathering. It looks like they're keeping pace with the ship.
Hello there.
They look up with big eyes. And as they slowly reach up with a hand, and you can see it breaking the surface as they start to grip and cling onto the side.
Oh god. Is it like a mermaid sort of person?
You've probably seen them before, but let me move them up. Without being surprised, Bjorn, the scorpions are seen. Little fish-like people with like webbed hands and slimy skin, each one carrying like a trident on its back and a shield as they start to climb up, hands sticking to the wood. What do you say? Anything?
Hello there. Do you want the ride?
They will continue climbing up.
I shouted to the others. I think we got some stowaway passengers here.
I'm gonna run up.
So out loud and says, "Arms up!" And we will roll initiative.
Are you saying these guys aren't animals? Are you sure?
I'm saying they're not. They're not.
Woo! Thank God for the vigilant blessing.
Ooh, this is not 20 turning into an
I rolled lower than you and got higher than you.
Yeah.
With a 0 dex.
It's as fast as Bjorn can react. Just give me 1 second. And for Bjorn, I kind of want to send you something that you spotted deep below water, swimming underneath them.
Okay.
Cause you some alarm. So give me just a second as I find it in my folder. Something almost eel-like. It's got these almost razor-sharp spines protruding through its back, but it has no eyes as it swims deep below the surface. That's not
Can
my
I-
folder. There we go.
Yeah, can I shout to the others there's an eel? Or I guess I can do that on my turn.
Yep. It's kind of what you see deep below the surface.
Oh, that's nice. He's very cute.
It's about 12 to 14 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah, guys, we don't
probably
have to be scared or anything. It's great.
Going to limit this. I'm going to have the scorpers all go on the same round since there's a lot of them.
So, do I know what these things are? I feel like I should know.
I was gonna roll
before.
When?
Are we?
Yes.
I have.
Are we in this campaign or the other one?
This campaign.
I do not recall fighting these.
Wait, did we fight these things when it was just like Sander and I?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
as a sailor, have I like fought these things before?
Yeah, they're pestilence of the sea.
So
They're
do I
like the goblins of the sea.
do I know like what's good against them and not good against
Goblins
them?
of the
So I don't.
sea. Don't know what rhyme
Uh,
begins, baby.
Beating them up before they can hurt you.
Well, yeah, but like, are they immune to cold or are they like?
The, straight up intelligence.
Isn't it a nature or something?
Yeah, nature. If you're better in nature than intelligence.
Yeah, I am.
They are amphibious. They are slippery, so they're easier to get off a grapple, and they tend to have a sticky shield that they use to block attacks and then wrestle weapons away from people.
So what you're saying is not immune to lightning damage.
Not immune to lightning damage.
Okay. Although all that information is good, and I will relay that to the people who don't already know. Tell everyone, hold tight to your weapons, and range is better than melee.
Alright, with that, let me start us up with some nice. And let me refresh the turn order so that way everything's in the right line. Back forwards. And we start off with Revos.
Alright.
Spearfishing in the back.
I was gonna
You
say,
hear something called.
I hear like the two arms, and I'm just kind of like, huh? What? Huh? I'm looking around, and I guess like it's not necessarily immediately apparent what's going on. I'm gonna go. Let's see. I'm gonna go towards the sound. How do I do the ruler again? Roll 20.
Fourth down.
On the left?
No.
Fourth down?
No, by like I know I can like shift click or something like that.
Oh yeah, hold.
Well, if you while you're holding, right click, and it just makes a point, and then you can move
Oh,
on your
okay.
Yeah,
finger.
pick
Right
up your
click,
token and right click.
All right. So I'm gonna go. Oh, don't I have that thing that increases my movement speed?
Do you?
Do you?
I could have sworn I got
The Elven Battle Spirit?
That's the one, yeah, so I have
Oh yeah,
speed.
the drink.
Yeah, it increased your movement speed by 10, I think.
Yeah, so I will go there and kind of go, oh shit.
Yeah, 10 feet.
Do I have, is, like, am I down low enough to the water to see them, like, coming up? Or, like, to reach them or
As you
whatever?
peek over the edge, you definitely see them coming on up. They are climbing up the side of it. It's within your reach, actually.
Nice. I will use I will pop rage then, and let's go with Glaive. Reckless attack, of course, as always.
Yeah, you slice into it with the 8 damage that it could take as you swing past to the second one that also hits, and it takes 3 more.
Wait, isn't Glaive heavy?
Yeah,
Oh.
Is Glaive heavy?
yes.
Okay.
Alright. Well, I can't use my full arm master because both of them are dead. So, yeah, GG. That's my turn.
Remember that your new polearm also has a ranged attack.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I already did my action, so.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Good to know for next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my turn.
I'm gonna click your end turn because you're not doing
Oh,
it.
yeah. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I can definitely get up to here. Am I within range, or is this
Lean
within
over
5
the
feet?
side, you can lean over it and strike it.
Okay, so I do that. Can I do a nature check to see if they're vulnerable to silver or something?
They are not.
Nature.
Oh, they're not? Oh, okay.
Well, you could figure it out for yourself.
True.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I do want
And
to
we have
become famous.
-1 in nature. Oh!
Fortunately, because these creatures are actually quite common, and they're actually just a regular sentient creature. So they are not actually anything monstrosity that would be prone to
Weak to
silver.
anything, or iron, or... Well, yeah. Iron is a little bit stinkier, but yeah. Alright, then I will just use my normal rapier. Nice, and that hits.
It hits, it strikes, and one just drops into the water.
And then... Right. Bonus action... What did this one do again? Ah, yes. I cast Shield of Faith?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I cast Shield of Faith on Rebels.
Okay.
What does that do?
It boosts your AC by 2.
Oh, very nice.
I believe that you're gonna hurt yourself again.
There's a good chance I probably will. Alright, so my AC is effectively 16 at this point.
Wait, you're normally 14? Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, unarmored defense, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that just makes it
You're
better.
in my heavy armor with extra 2 bonus thanks to parrying.
I mean, the trade-off for that is I literally take half damage while I'm raging.
Yeah, fair
The
enough.
barbarian's the health tank, and people who can wear plate armor are the tank.
Sorry, it's Bjorn's your turn. I clicked past.
Oh, okay, perfect. What am I going to do? I guess I just activate symbiotic entity on Agneta, and then I have a bonus action that I can. I guess I hit him with just my hand.
You could just offhand attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be able to reach it with your fist from there, though.
Oh.
You're a short creature.
I guess I don't do anything then.
I mean,
you could jump off the side of the boat and hit him.
Did you have to activate anything? Just shroom touch the thing.
I'll use my bonus action to relay to the others. Excuse me, Mr. Captain, but there is a big, very large serpent eel guy below us. And then I really want to activate that code, so I'm gonna do that. And I just pass.
Okay. Elusive, after you say that, shouts out to the rest of his crew, says, "Mind your footing, don't fall in the water, slicers abound." Thanks, Hughes Bjorn.
Can I do a nature check using that bonus check too? On what that is? 16, probably not enough.
A slicer is actually a morgrim that scorpions are tending to be friendly with. These long eel-like creatures are blind, but will obviously devastate anything that gets close to lacerating them and provoking more of a feeding frenzy from anything blood-related.
Okay.
They also will regenerate, covered in a thick mucus membrane that helps them regenerate unless it's dissolved away in some way.
So acid?
Yeah, that might work. Without much to do, seeing as you guys handled most of it, he will go ahead and cast Gust of Wind. and go ahead and aim it into the sails as he grips on with the thing to give you guys a speed boost. Try to get out rather than stay and fight. The sailor will go ahead and will perch herself off to one of the sides, and we'll go ahead and try striking that last creature. Yeah. 11 damage per crit is wonderful, but it actually is not enough to kill the very hardiest one of them. I should just put all sailors onto the same one. I'll put them all on 15. Kind of evens out. The other ones will sit and wait to see if any more come up. Xerthus, what would you like to do?
I don't know.
Maybe check the other side and see if there's anything over there.
Sure. I will walk to the other side, peer over.
Making perception. It all looks like rapidly moving water. Then there doesn't seem anything to be clinging onto that side.
Alright, we all good.
Okay. Bonus action for anything, or what do you want to do?
No, I got nothing to do, so no.
Well, you could have Copper peck the dude, or is it too far away?
Okay.
Here's like 8 of you over there.
Well, Xerxes, after you looked away, one did actually sneak up and get up onto the side, and will take his full turn just getting up onto the deck.
He's gonna die over
This.
Alright, back. Sorry about that.
Sildor and the elf can see this big one start clutching onto the side and start climbing himself up.
Oh, fuck, that's a chunker. That's a chunker.
Okay, do I know what that is?
Hold on. I hit the wrong button. I went to Shift Z.
What is that?
That's Chunky Boy.
Sildor, it is your turn.
Do I know what that is?
Roll me nature.
Oh, God.
Wow.
In the heat of the moment, especially as you look out, you can see more movement underneath the waves. You kind of looked at it, but off on the glance, it kind of looks like, I don't know, a big fish that's just kind of started clawing its way up the side of the boat. And there's other things to worry about than we're trying to figure out what the heck it is.
Yeah, it clearly looks dangerous.
You just assume maybe that's the slicer that they were kind of talking about. Who are you hitting?
Big guy.
Alright, big guy, make me a dex save. And he does.
Well, that's a big boy.
Damn.
Look at the bow.
Bonus action?
I have so many bonus actions, I should probably use one. I'll hex the big dude. Which I probably should have done to begin with. I'll hex his strength. I don't know.
Just remind me his strength. So
Yeah, that's really smooth.
Alright, as you look out, as more of them with their...
Oh, hold on. It's not over. Gift is going to... Shit, why'd the whole map move? What the hell?
You move gift elsewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, no, the whole map moved.
I don't know why I did that. That's weird. Where do you want gift? Just ping it and I can move. Oh.
I have him, he's gonna sprint and he's gonna do like an aerial around the ship. He keeps getting let go. Whatever, he's doing an area around the ship to take a look, to see if there's anything more than just these guys here.
Perception. Through gift, so
Yeah.
with advantage. It is not hard for gift to see the rest of what's around.
All right. Oh shit! Oh,
So,
there's the
yeah,
slicer.
That's illegal.
at the start of this guy's turn, Björn and Agneta are
That's
gonna.
what
Just kind of looks
Oh
up.
yeah,
and
you're
is like,
relating them. So never mind.
ooh, I like the sea.
Is that what you're gonna fish?
At the start of this one's turn, what's happening to him as he crawls up?
Uh, Björn is gonna look at him and go, Agneta, sneak.
Hold on, I got one more thing.
And
Okay,
Björn also does.
sorry, hold up.
Oh,
Well, one more thing is I'm gonna wrap my foot in some rigging so that I'm nice and sturdy because I'm up here on this railing. You know, I'm just gonna, instead of movement, I guess I'm just gonna get my leg nice and secure in there, and now that's it.
Okay. Well, I'm still using this scoreboard for other things, so I'm just gonna leave them off the map so we know when it's their turn.
yeah.
I'll just copy paste it. Oh, fuck it. There we go. Yeah, he sneezes and he dies, but the others all get to go, and Sander can see two of them as they swing up a net in their hands. They're both gonna chuck it, trying to throw it onto Lysander.
Alright.
13 does not hit as you step
It does
away.
not.
But
Zero
then
damage?
well, yeah, it doesn't deal any damage.
No. It rolls 1d0 plus 0.
Yeah, it doesn't deal damage, it's just a
Oh.
It just entangles.
Okay.
They will, as soon as it reaches up and it kind of flops against your feet, you see them tug a rope and the net closes up and just falls back into the water. And then we will go ahead and spend their next action to swim underneath the boat. This one will go on up, seeing these two will swim up, seeing Silver up there. They're each gonna go ahead, taking a spear and make a nice throw at him. 2 damage on the first hit, and nothing on the second one. And then they will begin their climbs, as well as several more of these. As another 2 will go up to the elf, throw a quick net at her, missing and tugging it back under. And these will also swim up to begin their climbs. As well as this one. This Scion is going to go ahead. You can see one of them kind of poke their head out from far away. As this Marauder will take a bonus action to climb up further and make an attack against this one. But missing. And this one will swim over and start climbing up. Allowing this one to get up on board, he will move over towards Revos and try to slash at him.
Is that one supposed to be on a different turn? Is it like something special?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just one of those. Okay, never mind.
Revos, you take 2 slashing damage after your rage.
Huzzah.
But it is your turn.
Is Adriana in the turn order? Because I know she's not here, but she's here.
She was kind of relapsing, so I'll say she was surprised because she thinks that you guys can do everything, and she doesn't need to do anything. What is all this?
We
I thought you
paid.
guys had this handled.
We paid to be on this ship.
So she will go ahead and get into the initiative.
Damn.
Entertainment portion of this voyage.
Yeah, this is our entertainment. Hesbjorn was looking. He asked. He got it.
Revos,
Yeah, I asked the fishes and these
We will.
guys.
We will. I want to go on the big guy or the small guy and try to cleave it.
Yeah, I feel like abusing the heavy thing is probably smart.
When you land a massive hit into it as you chunk into one of his shoulders, but it just kind of sneers at you with this
I was
toothy
going for the
grin.
smaller dude.
Oh, the smaller one? Okay.
Yeah, and then heavy into the big guy.
So that is 8, and then a 4. Hold on, let me go back up to his health. Plus 17.
Just
17
bleeding through.
took 8. So he takes 9 damage as you cleave into him. And seems almost happy that you did as blood starts leaking out and it starts really liking blood.
Like this guy. I mean, not really, but we'll follow up with the Polar Master.
Reckless attacking only is on your first hit, right?
No, I have to decide
The whole
if
turn,
I'm
you're
using
right.
it. Yeah.
So you still get your strength bonus and rage, so 9 more damage.
Wonderful.
As it only has an 11 to its AC.
Low AC, high hit points. Let's go.
Alright. Lysander.
Yeah,
Yes.
What are we doing with communication? Because I would totally recommend Lysander run over to the other big one, because I don't know how squishy that elf is.
I am gonna do something else first.
Yeah, I'm scared about the big.
Oh,
For
let me-
26 health
Is it supposed to be a 12th level cast?
with no second.
Higher level cast.
Yeah, so 14 for the
Oh, right,
normal
okay,
roll,
okay,
and then
okay.
another 12 for the higher level.
And 20 feet.
from-
Right?
Here on out, I hit all the small ones except for the one I killed, and of course the big one.
It's 20 feet, right?
Yeah, it's 20 feet.
Alright, go ahead and drag it to where you wanted it.
Well, I mean it's right there, but this is 20 feet. But
I set its aura to 20 feet.
that's weird.
You gotta think that it's the hypotenuse. That's a straight
Oh.
line. You gotta think the hypotenuse.
I
I
will
got many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
Indeed.
do it like this, and then still there is not hit. And I will cast that, and I will run over
That's a
as
smart
far as I
trick.
can, and I need to pick up the phone. Someone has an emergency, so I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me do the math while you
Yeah.
pick up.
Thanks.
That's a great sleep, man.
That is.
Actually insane.
Don't worry about the big one. I'll get the big one. Just kill everything else.
Shoot, where's my pen? I need a pen. I know I had one. Where the hell did it go? Who keep my pen on me?
Have you tried your
Which one of you guys?
Have you tried your pen pocket?
Oh, shoot, thanks. Find my pen pocket, so I found a pencil. Alright, so 26. This guy has 3 health, so he's falling asleep.
Yeah, all the small ones put together.
Alright, I don't know what this one's health is at. 7. So this one's to 4 health, so he will also take a nice sleep.
Do they all have like a randomized D8 or something as HP?
Yeah, they all have their randomized 2d8.
Okay.
This one's at 7, so he'll also take a nice sleep. It makes it a little bit more hard to judge when a creature is.
Yeah,
whatever.
I like that.
12 more, you can only roll a creature to sleep.
So sorry, what happened?
4 of them, you hear 4 plumps in the water as 4 of them fall asleep and fall into the water.
Sweet. As a bonus action, I'll also cast my spiritual weapon.
Okay, you can drag that right on out and then make an attack with it immediately.
Yeah.
Against who?
Against the big guy
Okay.
on the
We'll
left.
take the 4 damage.
It's radiant if force if it helps.
Doesn't seem to do much more than anything else.
Okay.
like you see it, the force damage just takes like the same amount of damage as you would expect from that swing.
Right. I took a 4 with the sleep. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a great sleep actually.
It is.
They are permanently gone from the combat, right? Since
Something spends an action to shake it awake.
okay. Because I'm just saying because the ship is moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the? I guess they stop moving unless somebody shakes them.
Yep. So after Lysander, you're casting a bonus weapon. You moved. That's all. So we go to Adriana. Who? What will she actually do?
I was 2 feet from her.
Oh, I didn't see there's also one back here.
Yeah, there's here,
Oh, yeah, and one up top.
and there's here.
Oh god.
Whoever has Psychic Blades it, I guess. So I'm not sure how it works. She casts it.
No, it's Psychic Blade where she just hits someone. And then if she chooses, she can add Psychic Blades on top of that. So, knowing Adriana, she would probably shoot a crossbow.
Psychic Smite.
Hand crossbow. Misses.
Then offhand crossbow.
Yep, she'll offhand it. Hitting and dealing 6 + 6, 12 damage.
And then she can choose to add Psychic Blades to that.
Well, she chose to add it that one.
Oh, okay, alright.
And
Make
it's
sure
only
there's
on
only
a hit.
one of them.
Yep,
It's a
only on
resource.
hit. Alright, Husbjorn.
Husbjorn is going to move Agneta here. And he's gonna move himself.
You'll have to stand up on the railing.
Oh, maybe that's probably risky then.
If you want to.
Hold.
What?
Hold I'm right behind the railing. God. I wanna see if I can deal with those somehow. I'm just looking at my spell list.
Well, if you could kill this one, that leaves me free to start doing long range attacks.
Which one?
If you kill this guy right there, then yeah, I can start doing long range attacks.
Oh yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Because the other dude's asleep.
Yeah, for your convenience, Sildor, this one's like 30 feet under the water.
Yeah, no, I get it. I have like 120 foot range on Eldritch Blast, so.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more of pegging out this one.
I guess I
It
just.
wasn't a back didn't do anything.
I
They're
guess
just
I
sitting
just.
back there, doing nothing.
Can I just
What would you
beat him? Can I just beat him with Agneta? If I move Agneta right here, I will kick him.
If you want Agneta to stand on the side, sure, she can go ahead and kick him.
Yeah, because he's like hanging off the railing, right? So he
Yeah.
should just be able to. Okay, perfect.
14 does hit for 11 damage. It is 2 more than he had.
Nice. Okay, that's my action, and bonus action. Is anybody hurt yet? I don't think so, right?
Rebels took 2 damage.
Okay, I think we're good.
That's worth it. God, yeah, I got nothing.
Grandpa, I got a paper cut.
I'm gonna move Agneta right there, so she's within the arrow of this guy instead.
I mean, you can, if you want, I don't know if it's a bonus action, but you can already cast the Healing Spirit, and then someone can just...
I removed Healing Spirit because it's so goddamn ineffective.
Gotcha.
It's like 4d6 over 4 turns, and it's so slow.
It used to be amazing, but they ruined it.
Yeah, I mean it's concentration too, so and I have to have Arc Skin on my stream, so I can give it to Agneta.
Alright, he will do his 1 attack. That's about what he can do. He will do a nice little Ray of Frost. Pew! And that's his turn.
Wow.
Let's be quick with this. She doesn't mind. She will fight this thing to... I don't want to do that. striking it, but can't do anything special with it. This guy will move to the side and will also strike it. Missing. Yep. This other one, seeing this other guy come on up here, will just go ahead and move up to him and two-hand his longsword and try to strike that one for 4. Oh, I did 4 to its armor. Oops. It's not the right one. Revos is gonna get some help as these guys run up, over, and go here. And he will go ahead and two-hand into the big one for a nice 11. And this one will do a nice little dash because, there's more up here that he should really worry about. Xerxes, what would you like to do?
Hopper's gonna claw the skull thing in front of him.
Which thing? That's not something there.
I could have sworn you said that was something. Nope, my bad. Me being blind is all hell. I'm just gonna...
Hey, you had a rough werewolf transformation, it's just...
Does it go?
Well, they're not a hit as it blocks with a shield.
Oh well, let's see if this works. Second level magic missile. 1, 2, 3, 1.
5, 10, 14, 16. Hitting into it will thud. And it will take all of them.
Yeah, that guy seems to be a chomper, actually.
Low AC, high health.
I mean, we don't know his AC. It's over 12, though.
Salt, I think.
Yeah, that's all I can do right now.
Alright, this one will go ahead and now that he's next to someone with the trident in one hand, he will throw it. Hold on, I'll scroll down.
Are the guys in the back, are they trident shielded? Both of them?
Yeah, these ones seem to hold it. He'll chunk it with one hit and then chunk him with a second one. I thought I said to public. Doing the exact damage needed to incapacitate this one. And then he will move himself on over into the vestibule. With an ally right next to him, the Marauder goes ahead and will slash at him with advantage. And then we'll take his bite. Stildor.
Alright. I want to do a check to see what this little dude all the way out on the back is. So I guess nature.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, you saw that from Gift, right?
The ones all the way out in the back, these almost feminine looking ones with strange gills are more psionic. They're called scions. And they are more supportive. They never take an active role in a fight, but they are helping the fight.
Alright.
Things that get too close to them, they will spike them with mental energies.
Samira?
I'm going to throw 4 health at the unconscious dude as a bonus action.
Reach all the way over there?
Yeah, it's 60.
Oh, nice.
It's literally a shittier healing word. And then I am going to Eldritch Blast the chick all the way in the back.
Which one, left or right?
Which one, the right or the left?
Oh, there's 2. Shit. Okay, I was looking at this one.
Just behind the turn order.
Yeah. There's also the one in the bottom left.
You know, I'm hitting this one.
He's hitting bottom right.
19 for 6 damage she would take with a cry out as she then dives under the water.
I mean, get them out of the fight. It's still worth it.
Gift will do some more surveying. He'll just be around here somewhere.
I just realized something. Where is Timothy?
Not on map.
Okay.
Taking a
Let's
nap.
just say he went under. When they say don't go under into the cargo hold, he went into the cargo hold and decided to play around in there. Then when things started happening, he's hiding.
Okay.
All right, time for all these things to make their turns.
I'm gonna. That guy.
Yep.
Is within both of me and Magneto's range. So one symbiotic for Magneto, and one regular for me.
All right, so he will fail the first and save the second, and he will jump off and will shake one of these guys awake. And same with this one getting shooken awake, and then that will be their turn because they're not too much as I'll move these.
Does that mean the two sleeping are gone now?
The ship isn't moving all that fast. It is fast for a ship, but it's still a river, and they're still going upstream.
Instead of warming them up for me, you're eating my fries?
Our team out.
You're eating her fries.
Yeah, I'm eating our fries.
Since you are such a pain in its ass, this thing will just it'll go after the guy who just came up to it. It's -2 to its AC. It's bloodied. But we'll go to attack you, Rose. It hates you now. You take 3 slashing as it gets a bonus to its attack damage. So it's 3 in total. And it'll try to take a nice honking bite out of you for 13 divided by 2 is 6.
Yep.
Another 6.
So, yep. 9 in total that turn.
Is it just from
I may be below 1/3 health now. Oh no.
questions? Have you removed the HP from that guy because he's not
No.
very good for me? Yeah, I'm just.
It was something like that. I don't know.
It was 5.
She will go ahead and give this one a little bit of encouragement, who will then go ahead and bite into the one that was weak and bring him down.
These sailors suck.
How did they survive for this long?
Yeah, we gotta keep them alive, guys.
See, there used to be more. Yeah, I can only.
Or just swim and take a nice dash action to get underneath the boat onto the other side.
Oh shit.
I don't like that guy. What did you say he was? Morgreen?
Slicer? Yeah, Morgan.
Why? Why is there another one? Or is it the same one?
It's the same one, moved on the other side of the boat.
He's
What are
from the other
Morgreen's
side.
weak to? Can I do like a nature check on that?
Yeah, on your turn.
Okay, sure.
This one gets up, seeing copper. He will go ahead and attack.
No, the copper.
Wow.
6.
For 6, and then he will hit once more. Missing.
Doesn't he get flanky?
No, the other guy's underneath the water.
Alright.
He'll disengage and move over here. Actually, no, he disengages from him and moves over here. And then Ruffles gets bit once more because, creatures within close. And you take another 5 damage. But then she's going to go ahead.
Wait, when does this sailor die?
During the Scion's turn.
At initiative 10.
Revos, what would you like to do?
Kill that bastard.
Yeah, finish that big boy up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rebels.
All
You
right.
might. Ah, there you go.
Here comes me. I was there, so I
It's
will try.
Froosty's mic.
Yeah, it's Froosty's.
Oh, sorry. Wait, I'll switch.
Into the big guy, of course, reckless act.
Taking chunks out as it falls over, keeling over, and flopping like a big old flounder.
Cool. And as I'm twirling my glaive mid-stride, I'm going to come over here and full arm master that guy.
He is asleep in the water as you strike down past the bow and clunk him in the head. He was asleep,
Nice shot.
and now he's gonna sleep with the fishies.
Is this better?
I mean, didn't he normally sleep with the fishes?
Yes.
I was going to say.
He normally did, yes.
Getting all this
Anything else, Revos?
big ball energy from Revos.
I'll actually click the check button this time because I remember to do so.
Life saving throw.
Bro.
I'm tempted to go cast sleep again.
I'll hear the crewman
also-
just.
You'll heal the crewman?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll
Because
heal.
he's just unconscious.
I got 4 more of these, so I'll heal them. Just go kill
Alright,
something.
good. If I get all 5 of these, or 4 actually. Wait, this one did not get woken up, right?
Yeah, he's asleep and one's wounded. So
So he should be gone by now, right? Because he fell into the water.
well, he's moving.
Sinking.
He used to be
He's moving 20 feet.
he used to be here.
Yeah, I get
Now
it,
he's
but
here.
He's also falling. Oh, okay. But he's also going down into the water because.
He's in the water right now. He's
Yeah.
asleep in the water.
You don't worry about him. He's
Because then I can cast it at least 4 and maybe get all of them away.
yeah, but the big dude is knocking out crewmen left and right.
Yeah, but I can get to him and still hit him.
Yeah.
Well, not normally, but I can use my spiritual weapon and just be a body.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
So I think I'll do that actually. So I'll just move over here. And then cast sleep again. Question is, do I want to do it as a second or a first level spell?
The RNG of the dice is the problem. Like you get so many
Yeah, I
dice,
know.
but then you get all ones, and it's like
If I get good RNG this time, because the first roll was pretty shitty.
Yeah, you have 2
Um,
ones.
Yeah. I think a first level spell will be enough. So I'll do that. And I'll just place it to wherever all 4 of them are in it and nobody else.
Yeah, that's fine. I get what you mean with it. So go ahead and roll.
Please be with me. Fuck yeah.
oh shit! Why didn't you get that before? Come on.
Well, that's what I said. Wow.
Really?
8, 7, 6, 6, 8.
3, 6, 13, 29.
14, 29. I got 15 health. Oh.
Yep.
So all 4 of them are now asleep.
Yep. The 4 fishies are now asleep in the water.
And unless like the big guy comes over and wakes them up, or one of the bigger guys that is on the.
5d8. You roll 2 8s, 2 6s, and a 7.
I know. This is so much better. And then I'll just hit the big guy with my spiritual weapon, because it does more than my unarmed strike.
Yep. You'll take 8.
1429 started on a Saturday.
After that, what are you up to?
That's it. I walked. I used my main spell of my main action, and I used my bonus action.
Adriana's just gonna shoot that one with her crossbow. Dealing 10. And then she can't load up the other one. Because she shot 2 and only had free action to load 1. So she has a bonus action to do anything else.
I don't know her character that well
healing word,
Action
probably.
reaction.
If you want, I can. If you
She doesn't have
put in
healing word.
control of her,
Oh,
I don't believe so. No.
Bardic inspiration, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's a bonus action.
She can give it to Xerthus. Looks like he might need it.
Xerthus, don't get your ass kicked in or beaten off by that thing. And she's gonna cast you some bardic inspiration. Woo! Okay, here's Bjorn.
Fuse Bjorn is going to now he sees all of this ravine, right?
Yep, just kind of flopped in the water and are drifting, slowly sinking down.
I am going to move here and have Agneta move here.
As you move there, this guy immediately moves here.
Oh,
Wait, you can do that?
Yep.
apparently he can. Wait, Agneta stood like here.
Yeah.
Oh, she can't move more. Okay.
Yeah, right. Does he like get up and walk away?
He's light-footed. As soon as you step in or move adjacent, he just disengages and moves 15 feet away.
I need to check. Agneta stood. Yeah, she can't move up there.
Once she moved next to him, he left.
Yeah. Okay.
So if
Okay.
she
Yeah,
then
yeah,
moved
yeah.
up here, he wouldn't have moved at all. So.
I'm gonna shield touch that guy then, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
You have disadvantage on it.
13.
Doesn't matter. 13 as your chill touch reaches out with the poison, and he just throws up his shield real quick and just knocks against the shield.
Yep, that is I get a bonus action, healing word. That guy's already he's got people on him. I guess a healing word Ravos. Just because I don't think that guy's gonna he's just gonna get knocked down immediately after.
Just get knocked down.
If you can.
I'm even gonna give you a level 2 here, man.
You rolled a 1 and a 6.
That
So Levos, you healed 7 health.
It's better than nothing.
Hey, for Levos, that's like 14.
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, next turn I guess.
Alessive doesn't really have anything within range, so he can't do much. He's steering the ship. The sailors will get to go, and they know no mercy. This one right here will strike, hitting, because it only needed 11. This one, after getting down, will have a willpower to stick around. He is gonna get down the steps and then move over here because he doesn't want to be in anything. The other two will.
You scared again?
He just got knocked down, so yeah, he's not really looking to fight. And this last one's gonna move in onto him and just do a quick strike. For another 4 damage. And then Xerthus, it's your turn.
So is the big thing underwater?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the end of the ship, so this is what you see.
Oh,
Under the ship, under the ship.
Under the ship.
Under the ship.
does it move?
Nope, it already spent its reaction. It is enough to kill it as you bring down the rest of its health and it flop dead.
Okay.
D-E-D. Dead.
And I spin my hand, ice gathers in it, and I cast Magic Orb at the big guy.
Okay. Roll to hit. You need a 9.
You got a 9.
It's dead.
It is dead. It is also DED dead.
That is my dead.
Okay. Yeah. It'll jump on over to you because you're alone, and we'll missing, and then thump. 12 also doesn't hit, does it?
Nope, AC is 13.
Nice.
Woohoo.
Well, it'll stay right there. And Sildor.
Alright, I'm going to throw some health, full 6 health at the poor bastard who's down over here. And I'm going to Eldritch Blast the last support. Oop, I missed. But I shot at it, maybe it'll make it go away.
No, she ducked a little bit under the waves and just kept her head up.
Can't wait until I can shoot twice. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and Gift.
Hey.
Gift is just gonna like keep moving to like stay with the boat.
That'll be their turn. Then she'll dive underneath the water itself. Zerthis, you hear the crunch of wood as he comes in, climbing up over the bow and slithering onto the deck.
That's just not fair.
Fuck. Okay. So I just spend my entire time going to this guy that's dead now.
Yeah.
Only for that big guy.
When he comes into my range, I'm gonna double hail of sport field, so one from Agneta and one from Husbjorn. Agneta is 2d4 and mine's 1d4. Yeah, he saves and he's
Yeah, the 50-50 of winning out, but then he will
go that way.
reach out with his claws and slice into you, Bjorn. What? 217. Or 2, whatever it was. Yeah, 217.
Yeah, 17.
So you take 10 damage.
Sure.
Ready now?
And for
She air fries. Alexia air fries.
that will be its thing. After it strikes you with lacerations, you can see its mouth kind of curl up into a hungry smile now that it smells blood on deck. Which one is this one? Oh, that's a dead one, so I don't need to worry about it. Okay. Rebus.
Day is mine.
There's a bunch of sleeping fishies at the south that are just drifting onto the current.
Yeah, they're asleep, that's
And
fine.
there's a big one.
Oh yeah, I'm going for the big fishy. Before Lysander has a chance to. And we're back.
That will hit for 17. As your weapon strikes into it, it kind of slinking through the skin and slicing nice and deep as the thing reels out in actual pain. It's very angry, but as soon as your mark leaves, you can see the mucous membrane close up around the wound, kind of stopping the bleeding from really getting anywhere.
And I'm using my silver blade.
Yep.
Alright. I will follow up with the Polar Master.
Alright, reckless attack again. Still bump into his head, and it looks very angry.
Cool, that's what I want it to be. And I will end my attack there.
Lysander, now that you're all over there.
Yeah, I know. I move. I can get over here, I believe. No, wait, I can go a bit further.
He's got to protect Grandpa.
Yeah, I can literally just go one square up.
Grandpa can protect himself
actually-
very much.
Well, sorry, I want to get this right. 20. I can go up to there. Woo!
Just sprint and get there, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Nah. I'm gonna use my bonus action to move my spiritual weapon 20 feet. It's floating, so it doesn't really matter. It can just go over the railing.
Yep.
And I cast Guiding Bolt on the big guy.
Okay, roll to attack. You hit with Guiding Bolt, dealing 16 psychic damage into it. And thank you, Google, for responding to something I said. Okay. It looks angry, and Guiding Bolt gives advantage on the next hit, correct?
Correct.
Next, until something hits.
Here.
Yep. I know, it's the next hit, that's why I was just confirming.
Next attack roll made against the target. Doesn't matter if they hit or not.
No, it does.
What?
Guiding bolt is about hitting. If 30 people miss it,
target
Next
takes 40
attack roll.
Yeah, the next attack roll made against the target before the end of your next turn has advantage.
Adriana gets advantage. She rolls up her crossbow and compules it. With advantage, still hitting.
Oh, one off of a crit.
Her psychic blade's dealing 7, but her bolt gets stuck into the mucousy membrane and just kind of barely grazes into its skin. Then she'll shout some encouragement to Hughes. Wait, no. That was her last part.
Oh, was it? Really?
She shot twice, gave Zerk this one, and just shot again. Yeah, fourth turn. Pretty sure it's the fourth turn.
We can look. Turn order. Rebels. Yes, run 4.
Alright, yeah, she spent. That'll be her turn.
But she didn't join in the first round though, so.
Correct. I think she still has one, but she'll save
So I
it for
take
another
4?
attack.
Okay.
Yep, you take 4 ongoing as blood is leaking from your body from its claws.
Would just healing myself, would that fix it?
You can staunch the wounds, or you can heal yourself.
Okay, so I could just healing word myself and it would fix itself.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna have Agneta move up. I'm gonna action give myself a symbiotic entity, and I'm gonna healing word myself at first level.
Okay.
Boom, boom. I heal myself for 6.
Yep, and you can click the little condition button on your sheet, and it should remove off that thing.
The garbage can.
Yep.
That's my turn.
Okay. Elusive, I'm not sure how much range he has on Frost, Ray of Frost. 60. I think he can hit them. Yeah, he'll throw out one. Missing. Continue to drive the ship as the others will move on up. Move on up. Actually, I think that's supposed to go down, but whatever. That also is a stairway going up. And move on up, but they seem a little bit hesitant to get into range with this thing. Except for this one who sees the opening and she'll go in and take a nice slash at it. Missing. As it slides through the mucus but doesn't penetrate deep enough. Surface.
Alright, spinning to the thing behind me, is it wearing metal?
No. Everything, it seems to be made out of natural materials.
Oh, that's
yeah, shock and grasp. I know you're thinking.
it was like, hit him, make it so he can't have reaction to the end of that fight. But alright, other plan. Spin, breathe ice on it.
Okay. Go ahead. Constitution save. Meets.
The what?
So he takes half.
Alright, yep, he'll take half, but he doesn't get any other effects, right?
No, he works right here. And Copper's a bit long.
Copper's where? Copper's not near him.
But he made a big hit.
Oh yeah, natural 1 doesn't hit. So,
Good.
is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Alright. This guy will go ahead and try to trade into you yet again. And he'll hop around you, because he's finding it difficult, and with advantage against Copper, he'll just snap your head instead. Copper takes 3 piercing. And then Sildor.
Alright. I want to do a check on this thing again. See if I know what hurts it. Or Hesbjorn did that already.
He did. We didn't really say it out loud.
Well, I'll do my own check.
It is definitely a slicer, and of course, with your background with the marinas, you've heard of stories of these things. Covered in thick mucus, they're able to regenerate their own health unless the mucus can kind of be dissolved away. Anything it kind of claws and like gets its taste of blood on, it tends to pursue until death.
Anything about immunities or direct weaknesses, or?
Acid.
It seems that, you know, creatures, a lot of creatures that seem to heal themselves over time are weak to fire, but this one with the mucousy membrane is not weak to fire, nor is it weak to normal weapons.
Okay. So I'm going to yell out to use acid and then not listen to my own advice and cast Witch Bolt.
I don't have any acid. I wish I
don't
would.
have any acid either.
I can work with that.
Yeah, use acid, and then I'm going to nail it for 11 lightning damage as white with a gold trimmed outlines bolts of lightning slap this bitch in the face.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, my bonuses are all concentrations. Hex is gone. Oh, gift.
Okay.
Gift, where the hell did Gift go? Did you move him? No, he's right here.
No, he's right there. I moved the scorers.
Gift is going to move
they're-
30 feet here, and then with his sprint, move 90 feet in the air and just survey. For whatever that's worth.
This thing will get a sudden reaction as it turns to Husbjorn and slices at him yet again with
Yeah.
advantage.
It's tasted my blood, guys. I take 14. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll this low.
I was wondering if there's a way I can use my action to taunt it somehow.
It apparently hits. It's gonna continue hitting the person.
You're not varying.
Right into water. A creature struck by his laceration has advantage on his. It then has advantage against it. So it's.
Okay.
So now that
Yeah,
it's
but I
its
mean,
turn. It
it's a
will.
big guy.
On the start of his turn, before I use my Singlet Canty, I'm just gonna double. Agneta, shake move! You just start shaking like gravity.
2 constitutions, 18 and 18. As it slices you again for, I forgot what the damage was because I rolled. 9 more slashing and then 4 more ongoingness.
So I have 6 going. Okay.
Yep.
Does it stack or shit?
And his second attack, as now is fully on the ground, it will go ahead and take a fight against Agneta, who struck at it, because it doesn't like Agneta now. But I think, oh no, it does. Agneta, all of her temporary health is gone.
Yep. And Agneta Sara is also gone now. This is looking fine. Oh no. That's both of my temporary HPs though.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I don't have regular
I
shield touch
forgot.
though. I
I
have
forgot about
poison.
these guys. Eventually, they have. I forgot about them on their turn 10, but they'll have surface and start climbing up on their turn.
Wait, what?
Presence, would my
Oh,
would my
the-
shield touch count into your homebrew shield touch? So it reduces healing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just figured since I changed it to poison it didn't do
Thank you
anything.
for reminding me. He does heal at the start of his turn.
God. Sorry guys.
Revos. Make me a intelligence saving throw.
I just infected.
13 or higher. Nope.
You take 4 psychic damage. And it is your turn. Reynolds, you are muted.
Oh god, you didn't hear my Charles, get out of my head.
No. No, would you like to say that? Reynolds, make me an intelligence saving throw. Now you can say it.
Alright, I said, oh, okay, this isn't gonna be good. And then proceed to roll my 4. I'm like, no, Charles, get out of my head. Alright, I will follow up with the Polar Master. Oh!
Plus 5 is 15. Okay.
There's your crit, Lysander.
Crit! Yeah, his crit
Lysander.
goes down now, right?
He's got a crit range of 15 plus.
Yeah.
I move up. I hit.
I could make the big guy blind, I guess.
I move my spiritual weapon. I hit.
Okay.
So,
So you deal 7 plus its full, so that's another 8. That's 15.
no wait.
What?
Isn't-
Does it have? Do I have advantage?
Yeah, it kept flanked at me.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah.
You don't have advantage. Thank
I was gonna
you.
say.
7 and
So my 15 stands. So that's it. That's my turn.
Alright, let me remove the green off of it. And
Adriana.
Adriana will do her thing. Since she has one last thing, she'll compute it. She won't. She does not hit.
Open computer.
Rivers, you're doing such a good job. Just do it better. Kill it. And she'll throw you a bardic inspiration.
Huzzah.
Here's Bjorn. You
Yeah,
take
so I
6
take
at the
6.
start.
Yeah. I am going to have Agneta kicking. I think.
Okay.
I'm just looking at my. So yeah, Shroom Touch would reduce his healing, right? Like
It
infecting
might.
the wounds. Because that's what your
As-
homebrew.
as well, yeah, I don't know what you homebrewed, but as a spell effect, it would prevent healing. But I don't know what your homebrew is.
Try it.
Okay, I'm gonna Shroom Touch the bastard. Yeah, that probably doesn't need any.
Does not hit. Nope. It seems to
Damn.
squirm underneath your Shroom Touch. His
Okay.
body.
Oh god. Okay, bonus action. Healing word myself once again to get rid of that. I don't want to have that stacking up on me.
You heal 4 of the 6.
Oh, okay, so I only have 2 ongoing damage then. Okay, sure.
Yep, let me change that.
Now that I know that, can I change it to a level 2 or is that too late?
I can do it. I don't know if you can change it without the mod.
I figured I just roll another d4.
What do you mean?
Changing the healing word to something that was possible.
Oh no, once you cast it, you cast it.
Okay, I just didn't know it would. I thought it removed everything, the poison. Or blood, I guess.
You can either take the action to staunch the wounds, and then
Yeah,
when you
I'll
remove
do
it,
that.
or you heal it and you reduce it by that much.
So
You use the bonus action.
yeah, I'm just thinking. Can I nature check this guy again?
Sure. Try.
Yeah.
You didn't really glean much out of it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's a
probably
lower
much
roll.
faster.
So I'll just pass.
Aggressive. He can't really do much. He still has his gust of wind going, so he'll just ray of frost it. No, he won't. Come on, man, you're letting me down. The elves will go in. They got this guy, so they'll step up to him, but he actually won't move this time because he likes where he is, and he can't really move anywhere else. So they'll strike of miss. Second one will go up and strike. With a 23, dealing only 6. She will strike into this one. Roll to hit, come on. Missing. This one will actually move up. She's gonna try to do something. Actually cutting in and dealing 4 damage. Ooh. And because everyone's so crowded around there, there's nowhere for this coward to go, so he will start moving up over here, but not with any speed. It's like this.
Copper called weird in between us.
So he would actually have disadvantage, as this guy seems to be really adept at avoiding people while he's surrounded. So he'll miss anyway.
Alright, I've backed up.
Then he will strike you.
Yep. No, second level chromatic orb acid. Big guy.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Big hits no way.
Oh, big
Hey.
hit. Big hit. Come on, let's go.
Hey.
19. How do you want to do it?
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Backs up, nearly dodging the try to bring one hand out in front of him as a glowing orb of energy appears. And as he hurls it forward, it hits it right in the eyes.
It does not have eyes.
Eye area. There's a space above the mouth.
As it's kind of squirming, slithering on the deck surface, as Arthas takes his leap back, just dodging easily out of the way of the trident. He pulls, like you said, he pulls out this green energy orb and lobs it into this creature. But as it sits up to hiss, and his mouth opens, Xerxes hits it right down and just spreads all over his face. His body's starting to just dissolve away before the acid just kind of eats into his body and it crumples and goes still.
Man, can you guys not carry your weight?
Hey. I did work.
It will disengage, go behind, and will strike.
Yeah.
Once.
Well, I hit for fucking once.
I really got back in.
And for a second attack, I don't think that wait, that also hits.
That
And
shit.
then it'll use the rest of its movement to dive. Sildor.
Boop, boop. So who's just left? Just these two clowns, right? Because no one else can be seen.
You can't really see them, but they're still climbing up.
All right.
From your perspective, everyone's kind of gone. Some are very wounded, and Hughes-Bjorn looks like he's still bleeding.
Well, Gift is seeing stuff from on high, but
Gift definitely sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people still, 5 little blood.
Yeah.
Guys still swimming around.
but he's too high to do anything. All right, I'll throw a d6 at his Bjorn. You can heal 4.
Thank you.
And I mean, I don't see anything else, so I'm just gonna stand here and look.
Yep.
Do you not see those guys?
And
They
They were climbing up.
Gift will move 60 feet lower, so now he's like 30 feet above the deck.
They'll jump off into the water and just dive. And I think basically that happens to this one, who will also go ahead and slip into the water. This thing cannot regenerate as it was struck with acid that turn. And then this one will also go into the water. Revos, is there anything you wanted to do?
Oh man, the fun one's dead.
Well, it looks like they're all running away.
That one's running away? Not on my watch.
Go get him, buddy.
It didn't leap off the side, but I will say that while it's leaping into the air, Revos, you run up. You can still strike it while it's falling.
Well,
Hell yeah.
you also have Force Blast, right? You can fucking shoot it.
I still have a guiding bolt that I can use.
You strike it for 17.
It's still living. What the hell? We can't have that. Power Master, go.
Strike it for another 12. Can you go that you dark outfit?
Yeah, can I take it out? I'm just
Okay.
putting it next to you.
Oh god, what was his name? Zimro?
It doesn't matter. Simros, yeah. Simros.
Damn it, alright.
Lysander. Revos went to go kill the last one as it leaps off the edge.
Yeah, I cast guiding bolts. I 8 to hit, 23 if I have advantage.
You do not. So you will also miss.
I was preparing like this perfect image in my head of this dude like leaping off the thing. I'm just like baseball Conan swinging it with my
She also
blade.
missed.
As it like, you know, like starts
Where
tendering
all
out of
things,
the air
possible?
and Lysander just like hits it.
She can only do it once per turn. She only has to load
What?
one per turn. She can't load 2 crossbow bolts at once.
Gotcha.
Not with that attitude you can.
Yeah, definitely not with that attitude. Here's what surface?
I can just hit it and it dies, guys.
No, I'll shield touch the bastard. Probably doesn't hit.
Nope.
Surface, your turn.
I cast magic missile, first level.
Are you
Into all.
Are you sure?
Does it? Fine. Let's find out. Press. Tell me if this kills it.
You don't have to roll. That's 1 health.
He overkilled.
Talk about giving it a new blowhole.
You hit it. You killed it. You downed it in the first shot. Then the other 3 confirmed the 3 death throws that you just hit on it, and it actually is dead. Like the other monsters are just unconscious, bleeding out. This one you killed.
You done here?
I don't know.
I think so.
Sodor?
That's what I said.
I mean, combat doesn't seem to be over yet, so.
Oh, he's
So,
still bleeding. He should go.
have these dudes are just asleep.
Oh, am I still bleeding? That's a good bet. Oh, yeah, I am.
All right, everyone else. Yeah, I feel
Healed by 4.
Oh, yeah, but I had 6.
Sodor.
like combat's over, right?
Is it though?
God damn
We're
it.
asking the DM.
I'm gonna double tap the boss, and I think it's over.
You didn't do it on your turn though.
Gift
Heals.
Gift is gonna land on the ship, and I'll shoot the corpse of the boss just in case. But I feel like this is dead.
I hit it with acid, so
To roll to hit, you have a disadvantage from a ranged attack.
Witch bolt is still active.
It'll take 1 death save. And then it will start its turn, where it will now heal 5 health.
Oh my god.
You have to keep using acid.
Yeah, I don't have acid.
Will
I don't have
somehow
acid.
disengage and slink deep into the water.
Fuck's sake.
Revos, spear him. This is your time to fish. Come on.
How deep is deep?
50 feet
No,
Oh.
rejection.
into the cloudy water, so it's heavily obscured.
Nope.
Okay. Is combat over now?
Xerthus, I don't think you can kill it, even with another magic missile.
Let's see. So it's 50 feet underwater.
You
right?
have to be able to see it.
But I know where it was, right? Though
Yes, but magic missile requires you to see it.
I wasn't gonna cast magic missile.
He's gonna cast depth charge.
No, I was gonna cast a catapult and just pick something up and drop it at the speed of light down into the water.
You could try that.
I mean, I don't have to. It's gone now. Combat's over. Combat's over.
Combat is over. It did get away.
Fuck's sake.
Now you know the fun thing about regenerating creatures.
Keep hitting them. Speaking of which, hey Lysander,
Yo,
I think I'm stuck.
what do you mean?
Earlier in the combat, I wrapped my leg in some ropes so I wouldn't get knocked overboard.
I come over and I help them tie it.
Thank you.
You guys could just see the creatures that are still asleep in the water further and further down the current.
All right, who's
They finally slink underneath the ocean water and they're gone.
who's in the worst place? Like, who needs it?
My familiar.
You're familiar.
Either Raffles or Husbjorn or Copper. One of those three. The rest pretty much didn't get hit, other than just a little bit.
I'm fine.
Copper gets my last 2 healing lights, and Revos will get, where the hell is it?
Does anybody want 5 HP? Because I'm gonna double wild berry or good berry.
Where the fuck is it?
I have max health and you get 5.
My spells keep going away.
Anyway, guys, it is 5 o'clock right now. I actually have to go.
Okay. See you.
All right, Revos heals 12.
Had fun fighting a bunch of fish, and next time I think we'll be actually in the next port town. So tell me what you guys would like to do. I mean, I assume you guys are going to eventually head out to the Waystone from there.
Fine, my son. Fine.
Yeah, the sailing guy definitely had fun in this combat.
Rebels, heal for 8.
Like, the combat's over, right? Combat's over, right?
Thanks.
Yeah, Revos gets 12 from me, 8 from Lysander.
Alright, I'm at full.
All right.
Yep. See you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks for playing, guys.
All right,
I'll see you next time.
time to get our raid on.
Bye.
Oh, bye from Alexia.
We'll say bye as well.
Oh, they say bye as well.
Hope to see you next week.
They hope to see you next week.
Probably not likely. I still have to put things.
We'll see. Alright, bye bye.
Take care.
And initiating raid.